Alright, game on. For real. No more teasing. No more teasing. Between Oya and Radley on clay fields. Here we go. So we have spawning in the top left-hand corner as our Red Terran playing under the ID J.E. Raynor, Radley. And on the right side as our brown Protoss, we have Oya. Or in this case, Oya-G. So let's take a look at this. There's a way to turn on vision for whatever for the whole map, right? I'm sure there is. There certainly used to be. I don't know what the hotkey is for it though in Remaster. How do I do map vision? I want to look at the whole map. These are newer maps. I think foreign made. And I wanted to see what they look like. Let's see. Any hints? Production, no. Replay, maybe? No, it's just that shit. Diplomacy, no. Oh, minimap. No, not like that. Wow. I'm bad at this. Minimap, right? Position, sure. That's all just this stuff. I don't know how to toggle vision in the map, but what do we have in the center of the map? Okay, we got one gate. Probably just going to be a single gate for that proxied fast zealot pressure. Obviously, it's pretty rare for Terrans to wall these days in TVP. In fact, it's borderline unheard of at decent levels. And the gateway down. And the probe, of course, going to scout incorrectly, so it should get over here in time to give the zealot a reasonable inclination of what base it needs to head to. And of course getting a pylon back home, we should see relatively normal play outside of this proxy gate. And of course gas for Radley, so no Rax FE. And the Zealot starts now, so yeah, the probe will definitely get over there. The Zealot will be able to head straight to Terran's base, nicely mapped out by Oya. But will Radley go through the center? Probably not. Looks like the SCV is headed. Oh, is he actually going? No, that's just a scouting path. All right. It goes. That's very interesting. Why does it not by default go like this way? It seems. Oh, okay. Now it all makes sense. There's ramps here. And of course, the Zealot is going to immediately head towards Radley's base. Oh, he's not making Marine, so this is going to be a bit annoying. Let's see. He's going to get the factory down. Then he should start a Marine pretty quickly here. The fact that he hasn't made one, though, is going to be a bit unfortunate for him. The Zealot definitely has the potential to do a decent amount of damage. You can see gas is up now, and into the base comes the Zealot. First Marine is only just going to be popping, so he's going to have quite a wait for that Vulture, and to be honest, the Zealot is just going to focus the factory, and it's going to make it difficult for Radley to get that factory up. Probe gets a hit, so now just 2 Zealot hits can finish off that Marine. He does have the wall up to micro with, so that will definitely help, but when that second Zealot arrives, and he can send it around behind the wall, it's going to start to get really annoying, and oh, almost gets the snipe on the SCV trying to build the factory, gets a hit on that Marine, and then pulls the Zealot back, just continuing to slow down the factory, pulls off the SCV, so far good pulls for Radley, but the defense is tight, and of course there's still not a factory. Keep in mind, he cannot get out here right now to build this factory. Very bad situation for Radley, especially as there are going to be Dragoons on the way here shortly, probably one being produced right now. And there's only going to be a Vulture and some Marines to deal with that. And again, he's going to kill the SCV on the factory, or at least block the factory from being finished. Another SCV kill. He does have 4 Marines out, and he does have a wall to work with, but he has no tech. And now 3 Zealots running in, and oh no, they get on the other side of the Marines, sending this one up high, gets another hit, traps that one, and now it is looking terrible for Radley, who can't even micro back that Marine. This is looking just about over. He's only got 1 left to fight. He can't finish this factory. There's a Dragoon about to enter the base, or at least on its way to the base, and probably gateways at home, and GG from Radley as Oya takes a convincing Game 1 win. Need to go here and update the score. That was a quick one. That was a quick one. Didn't take long there at all. So we'll see if Radley can get something going in game 2. Or is this going to be a very brutal, quick 3-0? Wait, is game 2 on the same map? Or did I make the game 1 again? Or did I do something wrong with what rep I got? Let's see if this is the same game. Or is it just playing the same map? To be honest, I don't know. I should know the setup for this tournament, but I don't know it 100% yet. Alright, they're in different spawn positions. It's a different game, just same map again. So playing Clayfield, spawning in the top right-hand position as our blue Terran, we have Radley. And in the bottom right-hand position as our brown Protoss, we have Oya. So the aggressive proxy gate works out beautifully for Oya in game 1. What will he follow up with in game 2? And will Radley make any changes? Honestly, aside from making a Marine a bit faster, there aren't really many changes to be made for Radley. He just needs to defend a little bit better. Just could not get that factory up. The placement maybe not quite ideal. The Marines couldn't really keep the SCV safe without having to walk outside. And the factory was just eternally delayed. And then the Marines devoured by the Zealots also. And a bit of micro error from Radley. Oh, and we do have a response from Radley. He has no depot made. So we're going to have at least a forward racks. Check that. We're going to have a little bit of BBS in the center of the map. Now I kind of hope Oya goes to the center of the map too, because that would be wonderful. But he's not. He's got a pylon going up in his own base. No shenanigans. And we'll see what kind of defense Oya can mount against Radley's BBS pressure. Barracks 1, Barracks 2, and a depot should be started here somewhat soon-ish for Raynor. But of course, with only 6 SCVs, your mining goes pretty slow. Getting a gateway. He's going to grab gas. Alright, so he's not going to 2-gate, which would have been weird to see anyway. And we've got our barracks and our depot on the way. Now we're just going to be macroing up, and we're going to see quite critically if Oya is going to skip that first Zealot and go straight to core, or will he opt to build that right away? So that will also help him defend quite a bit. Alright, he goes straight into the core. Now, will he build a Zealot here? This is where, for his sake, I'm really hoping this gateway starts making a Zealot. Let's see, we're going up to 100 minerals. We got Marines on the way. And he is going to skip it. It certainly looks like he's going to put down a pylon. So he is not going to have a whole hell of a lot to defend here against these Marines. Saving the first Marine before he sends it over. Going to arrive with 3 Marines. Probe scout going out. Doesn't see anything abnormal. Is going to scout him quickly and will know what's coming. But by that point, Raynor will already be making a point to move down and put some pressure on Oya. And by pressure, I mean go for the fucking kill. Alright, so he sees the pylon there. Will he start a bunker? Probably quite soon as he sends these Marines on the way. And will he pull any ACVs? Probably not, because he barely has any back at home. We've got first Dragoon on the way, and we've got range. SCV is still just behaving like a normal scout, not doing anything with it. But he might start a bunker here any second. He's going to attack the gateway a little bit. And there we go. Here starts the bunker, and now Oya is going to get suspicious. Be like, well, that's an odd thing to do, and of course now it is confirmed. Dragoon is out quite quickly, though. Might just be able to target down that SCV, but the Marines now arriving, and he's going to have to pull the probes, and we'll see if he can come up with some excellent control and Dragoon usage here to hold this off, and actually it's off to a pretty good start. These Marines are heavily surrounded. The bunker, though, is done, so let's see if he can get one in there. He's going for one. The probes try to get it. They cannot. Can they stop the other 2? It's going to be close. Yes, they can, and so far this is not a terrible start of a defense here for Oya, trying to block off more Marines. And can that one get in? No, there are still 2 Marines in this bunker, but surrounded by probes here. It looks like the bunker is going to go down, and this is going to be handled very easily by Oya. His last Marine just being rallied in here, but this gets absolutely nothing done. And an immediate GG, and Oya right now is just slapping poor Radley around, going up 2-0, blocking the cheese. Making things very, very simple. And we will go into Game 3. Will it also be on Crossing Field? I don't know. Maybe this whole tournament is on Crossing Field. Or not Crossing Field, what is it? Clayfield. Clayfield. Crossing Field is something different entirely. Ah, we're on the new map, Crown and Scepter. So let me update my Mobs. Mobs. Crown and scepter. I think that's the right spelling. It might not be, but I think it is. I'm like 85% sure. I think I spelled it right. I think I spelled it right. Sceptre. Alright, game 3. New map. New paradigms, perhaps. Oya as the purple Protoss in the top left-hand corner, and in the bottom left-hand corner as the yellow Terran, we have Radley, aka Raynor, or perhaps vice versa, Raynor, aka Radley, as most would know him by. So Oya has successfully aggressively rushed Raynor and slapped around Raynor's cheese. So what will Raynor do from this point? What will Oya do? Well, we got a probe out early again, so this is certainly... although I think maybe Oya likes to play this way and play pretty aggressively. We're certainly going to have at least a gateway in the middle of the map again. And, I mean, why not? He just won the game with it in 2 minutes in the first game, so might as well do it again. I'm just right in the middle. So this map with this middle has shades of Fighting Spirit for sure. Like right now it feels like a Fighting Spirit clone, except for the naturals are in different positions, but we'll have to see what it looks like. Or maybe some of you guys already know. Alright, so pylon about to finish. Gateway's going to come up. And we're going to make 1. Now will we make 2? No. Okay, so just going to be another single proxy gate in the center. Get that fast slot rush over there and put some pressure on to Raynor. Barracks starts for him. And of course the probe will scout this location, and then it'll scout this location about the same time the Zealot is popping, allowing the Zealot to head immediately towards Radley's base. Now, we should be getting a pylon and taking his gas here fairly soon. So yeah, he's going to make the Zealot and then probably take the gas. And scouting SCV is out for Raynor. Is he going to scout through the middle? Will Radley? No, he won't. So he's not going to find this till quite late. Gas is done here. Actually, gas not taken yet for Oya. Can opt to produce several Zealots before he even takes his gas. Now, will he immediately start a Marine, or is he just going to go straight into factory again? And will he have perhaps a slightly better position for his factory? Okay, this time, yeah, he's going to go Marine first. Give him a little bit better chance of defending. Of course, one Zealot is already on the way. We've got the barracks next to the CC, making a nice little wall there that the Marine can run through, but the Zealot can't. Get a little defense going. And, oh, Murderer SCV here, getting a kill on the probe, but it doesn't matter because the Zealot is going to serve as the scout. We can see the gas is taking, the core going down now as well. And in comes the Zealot, just going for a little bit of harass on the SCV, the gas mining SCVs. And he's getting some good hits off, but nice pulls by Raynor. Just getting some good damage on the Zealot. Now, can he get a kill? Oh, he's close. He's trying to dance around this. Will he get his first kill? No, he will not. Very nice pulls so far here by Raynor. And so far, this defense is definitely going better than last time. He's only taken 1 hit on that Marine. He's just got to be a little bit careful with it. Yeah, going to immediately run behind the wall. Nice job there. Now you just got to watch out for a few of these weakened SCVs. There's 1 kill. Now, a lot of SCVs are weakened, and you don't usually repair SCVs, so some of this is going to depend on the drilling. And nice pull again behind the barracks, but does he go far enough? No, he doesn't, but he scares the Zlot away. And it looks like he's going to handle this quite comfortably. More Zealots are not being made. There's just going to be a Dragoon, but the factory is just about finished here. Actually, the factory is a little bit more delayed than I expected, but with a few Marines on the ramp, the single Dragoon with still no range even started is not going to be particularly dangerous. And this probe is going to go out and look for something, maybe. I don't actually know what it's doing. He's got another probe coming out as well. Possibly just to expand, probably just to expand. And then this probe is going to go scout, or build some proxy building, or what? Got a second gateway coming up. Or possibly he's just looking for this SCV, but that would be odd. Huh. I am very curious why there are 2 probes out here. Oh, can he pick off the SCV before it gets in, though? Nice denial. And the Dragoon should be... Oh, actually, no, it's a waste. So the Dragoon comes out. Oh, shit. 5 HP. It's gonna die, I think. Probes are pretty good at assassinating things. There we go. Finally gets it. Finally gets a tank on the way here. No mines. So, wait. Okay, there's mines. So it's kind of like a slowish FD. Bringing this Dragoon back home. Gonna probably get one more Dragoon out of this gateway, and he's gonna have to sack it here as Radley pushes out into the center of the map with just Marines, apparently. And getting a few vultures out now in typical FD style. Get those mines, get the map control, at least in the early game. Make Protoss have to wait for their observers before they can come across the map and be obnoxious. eBay just about to finish. Oh, that's a very fast eBay, to be honest. Interesting, and also a starport. So perhaps this is going to move into some sort of drop build, which could be interesting. Downside is that has expanded relatively late and with a decent number of Dragoons. Now, can this Dragoon get away? This will be a little bit tight. Oh, I think he was ready for it. Now, can Oya walk it away? Oya. That was a bit sloppy. Oh, wait, actually, never mind. I didn't see he was trying to come in here to snipe the tank. And he still has a few more. Oh, he's got a bunch more Dragoons. All right, so this turns out fine. I totally missed what was happening. My bad, guys. But now he will clean up the rest of these Marines, and he'll actually save his gateway, which will continue to give him 2 gates of Dragoon production, desperately chasing this Dragoon, but perhaps a little too aggressively as it stays alive. And now the mines are going to be absolutely essential here to hold Oya off for a little while. But remember, he is working on 3 gateways, and he is about to expand. So yeah, with those 3 gates of production, these vultures are probably not going to be a huge... Oh, well, that was pretty bad. So gets a little bit over-ambitious there, trying to charge across the bridge. I think we're going to see a dropship, right? Maybe not. I'd actually... Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't quite understand what's going on with his build yet. He's got this starport. I don't know what it's for. But Oya has made 3 gates, so quite a few units. And I'll say the only thing I was perhaps going to be worried about, nice little wall there. Actually, not as nice a wall as I thought, but with just 1 hit left to go, that vulture will be cleaned up. Only gets 1 probe kill, not a big deal. Still an idle starport, getting that second factory. Still no expansion here from Raynor, which is very interesting. As Oya, I feel like this is going to get more and more and more ahead here. Observatory, where's his robo? Okay, this is robo. And still no expansion here from Raynor. I don't know what he is doing at this point. Finally getting that dropship. But again, he's expanded, Oya's expanded slowly and off of 3 gateways, so as long as he isn't too foolish and leaves all of his Dragoons back near Radley's base, this drop, there'll be more than enough units to defend it. Of course, there'll be obs out as well, so this really shouldn't do a whole lot of damage. But if Oya has slow reactions, it could still get something done. Oh! Sending in a Zealot there to clear out a few mines. That's not a bad use for that guy, I suppose. And getting a complete ring of turrets. I have no idea what Raynor is doing right now. He is expanding. I guess he's worried about Reaver pressure or something weird. But a ring of turrets and all that stuff before expanding seems incredibly defensive. Now, let's see here if this drop gets anything done. Alright, so there's nothing watching. So it's going to come down to how quickly can he pull these probes. Oh, he knows something's up. His Dragoons are running back. Yeah, alright, so he's pretty much on this. Probes are already running, so this drop is going to do next to nothing. And that should put Oya in a really, really strong position. I mean, let's face it, Raynor just now got his command center. This drop is being cleaned up. I don't think the dropship can get away. He should snipe it if he goes for it. Yeah, he's going to snipe the dropship. So that's a nice kill. We'll finish off that tank. Oh, actually, this drop might just get a little bit done. These vultures have snuck by, and now trying to drill on top of them with the probes. There we go. Gets them surrounded. Alright, so these vultures only end up getting about 2 or 3 kills. Not a big deal at all for Oya. That was pretty much everything that Raynor's hopes were riding on. He needed damage from that drop. Did not get it. And now he is stuck here with this very slow expansion against a more teched, certainly higher unit production running Oya. A few vultures going out, going to try to harass. There are a lot of dragoons here, though. They're going to be very careful with where they go. And we can see a third base is now going up here for Oya. Just going to try to keep that base count ahead by 1. Does he have Citadel yet? Does not appear that he has a Citadel. Big old probe transfer over here towards this third base. And, of course, some goons posturing here to defend it. And leaving all the tanks back home to defend, has opted to make yet another dropship, so we'll continue with the drop harass, seeing if he can get anything done. And just mining up this side of the map. But the dragoons coming over immediately to clear them out. Will they get this mine? Yeah, they will. And then these vultures are going to slip out of there nicely. It's a few shots off on one, but not enough to take any of them out. Forge is up. And also on the way to the Citadel. And just doing a nice job clearing out mines, but at the same time, these vultures are doing a nice job clearing out probes. We got 3 kills, 1 kill. We got at least 8, 10 kills here on these vultures. Make that 9, 10, 11 kills. So 11 kills, basically cleaning out the mining of the third base. Radley finally getting some of the damage he needs to equalize his way back into this game. That is a decent hit there for Oya and his economy. Now it's more of a stable 2 base against 2 base for both players without that little edge for Oya, who's going to have to spend money rebuilding probes and having his economy slowed down a bit. Do we have more tech from Protest coming? Yes, we have a Templar Archives. Do we see a Stargate anywhere? Negative. We also have this Forge. No upgrades started yet. CC is coming up here for Radley. I don't see an armory yet, though. And it looks like we have, what, 5 factories? Yes. And a mass drop. Alright, I kind of like this. This will be interesting. You don't see this style very often. These Dragoons, though, are in a really nice place to potentially intercept it, but it's 3 dropships, so how quickly can he react? Alright, he drops quickly. He's going to kill this Dragoon, but can Oya scramble back into position? He should now realize this drop is a bit scary, although maybe Raynor is just using this right now to secure this base. And if Oya runs over here, he's definitely going to get murdered. Just 5, 6 Dragoons. He's not going to bust up a mined ramp with 3 tanks on the high ground. Where do those dropships go? What? I just heard them loading. I'm so confused. Oh, there we go. Went back to the main base to grab a few more units. And meanwhile, Oya leaving most of his army down here towards the south near Radley's base in case he moves out. But let's face it, both guys, I think, are a little ways away from wanting to commit to a push. And it looks like Oya is going to start taking his 4th base. There we go. Now we have our Arbiter Tech on the way. And the dropships continuing to load up. Getting a few tanks in there, getting a few vultures. And where will he head? Perhaps he's going to go around the map this way and try to come back here and drop that 3rd base. Has this sealed off? Will he? Yeah, he's got a command center floating off, so you just use the dropships to take this high ground base. Not a bad way to go about it. This OBS will stay alive right now. And the dropship's just kind of hanging out over here to the right. No science vessel yet. In fact, does not even have a science facility at the moment. Oh no! Oh no! Well, he spots that one. Snipes one of the dropships off efficiently. Always a bad thing to have happen when you've got a nice big drop. You fly over a cluster of goons, but meanwhile, a whole boatload of vultures running in here and just 1 cannon. So these probes, they are juicy massacred yet again. Another big find by Raynor, and that puts him into a solid 10 supply lead. And let's face it, that has Oya still mining off of only 2 bases relatively thinly here. No probes here, no probes here right now, and the economy of Oya is really hurting, to be perfectly honest. So these 2 vulture run-ins to this 3rd base have proved to be worth their weight in gold, and then some here for Raynor, as Oya starts to squander his lead. Interestingly, 2 Archons mixed in with that army. Usually not the best units to include TVP, or PVT, unless you are just running out of gas or running out of minerals and all you have is a huge gas bank, but that doesn't happen that often. Especially because you can make arbiters. Alright, looks like we're gonna try to run in for an attack. Probably not the best one, mine's going off. And yeah, quickly telling Oya, hey, back off, man. I'm good. Does now have a few probes back at the third base, but look at that, the mining very thin, and now the drop comes over here towards the fourth base, and the probes immediately ran. Will the vultures try to chase them down? Does not seem like they will, but Protoss is now coming over here with his army. He will be able to clean this up, but again, more and more delayed mining. Tank trying to hide in the corner, not going to have time to siege up though, I don't think, and get in. Oh my god, oh my god, holy shit. Oh yeah, no. No, and Radley knows he got him. Oya knows what happened too. So Oya taking another huge economic hit. Just brutal. Radley saying that was priceless. So just cannot get his economy running. And of course, Raynor now has his third base up and running. So if Oya isn't careful, he's going to max with a ridiculously big army, but not very many probes. And a single DT is in the middle there, gets scanned, taken out quickly by the vultures. Very efficient DT killers by and large. But then the vultures decide to fight dragoons in a straight up fight, which is never a smart one for vultures to take. Archon's coming in here to do a little bit of mine sweeping. Vultures trying to sneak some shots on them, but ultimately I don't think it's going to be worth it with the dragoons right there to act as a supporting cast. And Radley doing a pretty decent job here, constantly running vultures around and abusing the openness of this third base here to get probe kills. And it looks like now Oya is taking these vultures a bit more seriously and starting to get this third base a bit pylon walled off. Not a perfect wall yet, but definitely more resistance than before. Very, very Dragoon heavy army. I hope there's going to be some serious zealot production here soon. Still making Dragoons. This is like a pure ranged Protoss army. It seems like it's going to have a hard time against a high tank count. A few vultures trying to run in here, but now with 2 cannons and some walling, not really able to get anything done. And here comes another attempt to sneak out vultures. Dragoons and Archons closing in, but they are going to escort these drop ships up towards the top of the base. And he's going to get some tanks up on the high ground. Sieges up now. Tries to run a tank up on top. Where will they be targeted? It looks like nowhere in particular. The vultures are getting cleaned out, but the units of Oya are getting dealt with here. Now that here comes the Templar, good storm goes down, but still a lot of tanks up on this high ground, and these retreating dropships will die. Now with pure brute force, Oya is definitely going to break this, but let's face it, that was pretty efficient trading there for Raynor. Got plenty of kills, forced the probes to run away, did a bunch of great stuff. Did lose a few units in the process though, as he starts to mine out in his main, but so is Oya. Oh, there's a ghost under there. Look at that. But no nuclear silo as far as I can tell. So it's just a ghost. He's researching. What is that? Lockdown? I think that's lockdown. And what is Oya gonna try to come across the bridge with pure dragoon? Or almost pure dragoon? There's only like 3 zealots in there, and I think they're slow. Good strong wall here. Actually, there's not that many tanks, though. So we'll see how far in Oya gets. I think as a few more tanks pop, he's going to get pushed back. There's not enough Storm Templar or Zealots here, I don't think, to break this, especially with all the stasis in front, basically acting as a de facto wall. But we'll see. Oya is definitely throwing his army at this, trying right now to break through Raynor's defenses. Dragoons raining down terror on this barracks, but yeah, I think they're starting to get repulsed. There's just a little too much tank fire up on the high ground, and that's going to force him to swing over here towards this base. And SCV is trying to block, and there are several tanks over here. There's also a ghost as well. Does indeed throw down a lockdown, has resurgence, trying to mind drag, but these lockdowns are in great spots, and Radley doing some excellent defending here, making it incredibly difficult for Oya to run up this ramp, and he continues to force Dragoons at it, but let's keep in mind there are definitely still a decent number of tanks alive, and here comes some Vulture reinforcements, and that's definitely going to be enough. Oya says, lol, just cannot force his way up with this heavy army. He says, good luck walking with goons on the map. Yeah, it's kind of like fighting Spirit. It's tricky to walk up into third bases like that, or across bridges. Just as a little bit of almost a destination fighting Spirit hybrid, and now both players drop back into supply range of about 9 or about 100 or so. And oh, Oh, some fleeing SCVs or mined out SCVs, I guess, have been sent over to this base. Plenty of money here right now for Raynor, so he's just going to throw up CC and a refinery. And, oh, wait, what? Why did he GG? See this out of resources, I guess? Yeah, I guess he was feeling like he was just too mined out. Oh, no, he's still got bases here. What? I'm a little confused by this GG. Terran's mining 1. He's mining 3. Why did we just see a GG? There's not... And there's a little bit of an army here. Did he just feel like he'd lost his army? Suing across the bridges? Is that what the cause was? That's so weird. I mean, this base was going up, but Terran was mining 1 base. And Protoss was mining 3. Very interesting GG there from Oya, in my opinion. I can't guarantee he could have stopped that little push that was coming out, but buying a little bit more time, 3 base production, get 2 cycles in, there's a pretty good chance, I feel like. But alright, Radley gets game 3. Takes the first longer than 20 or 30 seconds game we have. So we go to a game 4. And back to Clay Fields for this one. Score properties. Clay Fields. Alright, so spawning in the top right-hand position, we have Radley, and in the bottom left-hand position, we have Oya. And yeah, now we're hearing this conversation that these maps... what does he mean? I mean, there obviously aren't lower in the main. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So a typical 9 mineral patch main, so that's normal. But I did not see the third. Oh, this is a different map. Derp. Derp. I didn't see what was going on Crown and Scepter. Crown and Scepter? I guess that makes sense. Crown and Scepter. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. Probably what it's called. King and Scepter. Clay. No, not Clay and Scepter. Probably not Clay and Scepter. That would be an odd name for a map. Alright, so in-base gateway here for Oya and depot in-base for Raynor, so probably we're not seeing anything super weird out of either player. Yeah, Barracks goes down, so reasonably whatever. Yeah, Oya threw away a lot of goons, that's for sure. That was a pretty overly aggressive attack. I mean, if there would have been, you know, a group less of goons and an extra group and a half of slots, that attack might have worked. But nah, it's just hard to break up ramps with just dragoons. Either that or some recall, some stasis, whatever. Quiet chat today, though. Nobody wants to put anything into the comments. You guys can say hi if you want. Or you can just talk about completely off Brood War topics. I forget exactly what the context was, but I was casting like a month or 2 ago, and the chat had like a 15-minute conversation about like chicken farming. It was quite enlightening. It was almost distracting because it was just so interestingly off topic. Alright, so we got the core, we got a Zlot first, but it's cross map, so if he does harass with this Zlot, it's really not going to do much. Both players are going to scout incorrectly, assuming they don't just go through the middle of the map, which it does not look like Oya is doing by any stretch of the imagination. And of course range goes up immediately. First Dragoon starts. Factory going down. Marine being made. Already got one on the ramp, so nice quick Marine production. And obviously range for said Dragoon. And in comes the SCV. We'll get a scout off. We'll get to see exactly what is in Oya's base here before that goon pops. You can see the core spinning. Oh, trying to glitch the SCV off. Almost gets it. Dragoon is out. Alright, SCV is sent back to a mineral patch at home. Can he get out alive? No, no chance of that. The goon has a little freeze moment. Gotta stop on that bad boy before he can walk it around again. Looks like he's finished off that SCV now. Does a lot, I guess, getting the kill. So, how unusual is that? Tank is on the way. We should see mines here in just a sec as well. Where are the mines? The mines, the mines. Gonna make a second Dragoon bring it. Oh, did he hold position too soon? Alright, there's the mines. We got RFD coming here from Radley. We got this Dragoon just chilling here. Maybe it's just waiting outside here in the choke. Whereas these two are going to hang out in the middle. And double gate goon. Oh, so we're going to have some goon pressure here from Oya. As this SCV tries to sneak around, but it looks like Oya is actually wise to that. And with a Dragoon down here, should be able to prevent that SCV from doing anything. Oh! He made a little bit of a mistake. Alright, there we go. Rogue's in place. Let's see if we can get it on the ramp into just the right spot. Looks like it. There we go. Scouting denied. Kind of. Unfortunately, he's seen that there's no natural, so that will give him a little bit of pause. Can be a little bit safer here. And across comes our tank and 5 or 6 Marines. But he's going to be going up the high ground, so this is a great place for Oya to fight, and a terrible place for Radley to fight, who recognizes that and turns around. Ah, the Dragoons are still on the high ground though, so this is still a terrible place to fight. And the Zealot on the low ground doing damage. Oh, pretty good glitch though of that mine, but beautiful mine drag there. Does not get the tank, but still can't ask for much more than that. Tank's still trying to fight up the high ground. Kind of surprised he targeted the Vulture, but now we have Dragoons chasing the tank, and he has not laid mines, so he should snipe this tank. And down it goes. Very favorable exchange there for Oya. Gives up 2 Dragoons to get 6 Marines, the Vulture, and of course the tank. Definitely satisfied with that trade, especially behind those 2 gates of Dragoon production. Now, no pressure at all possible from Raynor. Has to lay mines just to stay alive, and it looks like he's going to rapidly add factories. It's going to be a quick 4 factory looking timing attack. I think is what we're going to see here. Waiting for this guy to move away, I think. Well, maybe. Or maybe he's just messing with us. I mean, I'm assuming we're about to see, like, 4th factory, and then, well, let's not run Dragoons into blue goo. And Vulture's trying to sneak in. Can this one get in? No, but it will probably get a kill, 1 kill. Tries for 2, doesn't get it. And these Dragoons now coming back to defend, but has to be careful about this mine here, doesn't want to eat that. And starting a 3rd base immediately from him. There's the 4th fact from Raynor. Now we'll see if he throws down the 5th, or if he's just going to come really quickly here off 4 factories, trying to hit a timing, because right now Protoss is taking his 3rd off of just 2 gateways. So definitely a bit of opening here for Oya, or for Raynor to hit Oya while he's vulnerable. Before that extra production kicks in, 3rd gateway going down. In fact, the Robo, well, okay, the Robo's done enough that he should have obs out before this little attack comes. But it will definitely be a dangerous attack, especially because I don't think eBay was made. Yeah, so no eBay, no Academy. This is a very fast, kind of all-any 4-fact type push. Would struggle with any tech play. But since Oya hasn't gone the tech route, it looks like it's going to be pretty dangerous. And we got, what, 2 Vultures sneaking out around this side of the map. Just producing out of those factories. When is he going to pull the trigger? And go for it. He's got 4 tanks out. He's got a vulture out sneaking around the map. Just looking if there's any hidden bases that he doesn't know about. Making sure he understands what's going on. And this vulture is going to find its way over to this base. How annoying. Dragoon's nowhere near. And we get 1 kill. Make it 2. Chasing this guy around. Going for a 3rd. He's going to get 3. He should get 4 at least. Oh, okay. Gets 3 kills. Laser mine here. That mine will... okay. That was decently well handled. Needs to be careful. Okay, that was close. That could have been a very, very bad repeat of a bad moment last game. But now it looks like Raynor is ready to move out here with his little 4-fact. Should be reinforcing with Pure Vulture. No, he's actually going to reinforce with Tank Vulture. And the danger here for our hero Protoss is that he's only got right now, only just getting 5 gates, 6-1. He has not had better production here than Oya or than Radley for quite a long time. So this will be a very scary army from Radley. We can see there's 4, 5, 6, 7 tanks in there. We've got about a control group of goons and a couple slots. I don't think see a shuttle in there. Is there one in the making? No, there's not. So that's going to add to difficulty of defense. So we can see that 3 Dragoons have already been lost here for Oya as Raynor tries to make his way towards the high ground. There are a few Zealots here running in on these tanks, but they go down immediately. And that will force the Goons back. And another 3 Dragoons go down against this relentless push here from Raynor. There's a big reinforcement of Vultures coming, and that is starting to give Raynor a very scary army to work with. Zealots being furiously macroed here as leg speed is researched. But will it be enough, or is it too little too late? It's feeling difficult, all of these tanks coming up here to siege these bases down, to siege this 3rd base down. And with such a low Zealot count, Dragoons are just going to have a devil of a time running in there and attacking that. Bunch of mines out in front. Dragoons continuing to take shots from the tanks dying, and unfortunately he's being forced to go with slow lots. They're just going to get eaten by the mines, and these Dragoons are going to suicide on top of these tanks. There's way too many back there, and it looks like that is all Oya can do, and I think we're going to see GG at any point here because this is obviously getting devoured. These Zealots will probably not make it onto the tanks. Oh, actually gets 1 Zealot onto the tanks, forces an unsiege. But those Zealots going down. Reinforcements here a bit slow. Perhaps that gives Oya some hope, but not really. GG, and Radley takes 2 in a row to tie it up 2-2 against Oya. Terran fighting, Terran race, best race. Nah, I like Zerg the best. They have the coolest players. All the flashes are bad. And Haya wasn't bad. Haya did fun shit. And of course, the legend, all-time legend though, was Indove. That guy had the sickest micro of like anybody. Oh my gosh! If you guys can go back and find some old Indove videos, that guy just was like a highlight reel. Every game was a highlight reel of Pint micro. It was godly. In the top right-hand corner, as the red Terran, we have Radley. And in the bottom right-hand corner, as the blue Protoss, we have Oya. Who will take this game? It remains to be seen. Not only this game, but this is for the series as well. Card Cup Week 3 is what you guys are watching if you don't know that. And Oya with his trusty probe out into the middle of the map. Gonna make a proxy gate. It worked really well in the first game. It did not work so well when you return to it in game number 3, I think? Or was it the last game? I don't know. But he tried it in one of the games, and then Radley defended very, very nicely. I think that was on the 3rd game. So we'll see if Radley still has his defense laser dialed in or not. Depot going down for Radley. And he's probably going to learn from that. He's probably going to have the barracks over here and then just have the factory right there. Make it very easy for the Marines to defend the SCV. First gate is down. It is again just going to be a single gate proxy. And the probe is going to scout correctly right away here for Oya. Proberto. One of the great TL stories about the journey of Proberto. And in he comes, and he sees a bunch of normal shit. Ordinary play, gas, barracks, looking as typical as possible. Harassing that SCV, building the barracks, trying to delay it by even a second or two is a nice little advantage. Will he force the pull? Right now it's not looking super promising. Bradley's anti-probe harass, SCV harass is going pretty well. Yeah, just totally keeping the probe off this SCV. Beautiful defense here by Radley. Gonna get nowhere with this probe is Oya, so that'll get the barracks up right away. We can see Zealot on the way, but there will be a Marine or two by the time the Zealot arrives, and should be a comfortable defense here from Radley, barring any major micro miscues. Alright, you should notice this fairly soon. There we go, finally notices it, turns the SCV around. Needs to be careful a little bit with that SCV. Could get that probe drilled. But we're going to have, should have 2 Marines out here by the time this Zealot arrives, so with good control he's going to be just fine. And in typical Oya fashion, we have the gas going up, and we should soon see the core going up as well. And here comes a slot. Oh, he's going to turn it around and walk around. Doesn't want it to be spotted by the SCV, perhaps. Either that, or he wants to link up with his probe. And now the SCV is going out to scout. We can see another Zealot coming across the map, and a third one being made as well. Is there a cyber core yet? No, there is. Well, now there is, I think. Yeah. Alright, so coming up the ramp, here comes the Zlot. Gets off a good first hit or two on that Marine. Not the most ideal of starts from Radley, but he does tuck in behind his wall there. And just like in the first game, Oya is trying to get that position where he can continue to deny that factory. But it looks like the pulls are pretty quick here for Oya, who gets an SCV kill. And unfortunately, this Zealot going to attack the factory. Going for a second SCV, doesn't get it. And now it looks to be somewhat handled here by Radley, barring a major mistake. Is doing a decent job, though, of denying that factory, or at least slowing it. Brings the SCV back, is injured, is okay, but I think he'll be able to deny the factory building one more time, and then that'll be it. He's committing to it, but the Zealots are being pulled nice and quickly here for Raynor, and now a third Zealot coming out, 4th Marine coming out, back down to 3, though, as the Zealot quickly picks off one of them. And this guy's got to run for his life. And nothing more. Continue pressing that. Will he get one last SCV? Yes, kind of. He is able to get it pulled from the factory ever so briefly, but let's face it, at this point it is solidly held. 4 Marines on top of the ramp will easily take care of that single Marine. Now has the Dragoon on the way. No range as of yet, though. And here comes the Zealot to the top of the ramp. Let's see. Alright, he's just got to pull this one back. There we go. A little sloppy there. Trying to get the red micro done. He's got to pull it back. No. Alright, he's losing a few of them, but still okay. Still got a couple Marines on top of the ramp. Still has some in production. And, oh, well, we're going to add a second factory here. Just as, adds a second gateway. So a very delayed 2-fact goon is going to come to the top of the ramp. Should not be able to do anything. This is very bold. I don't know why he's trying this. He's taking a lot of damage on that Dragoon. At least a lot of shield damage. It's going to be a while for that goon to rig and back up its health. Range on the way. I hate this thing that the map is like this. You can't click on things. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's like a robo support bay or something, but... Oh, no, I can't. Oh, I guess I can do that, right? Yeah, it's a support bay. I figured with the shuttle coming, we were probably going to see a Reaver, and we are. And we are. And we got 2 facts here from Raynor. So Reaver's not a bad option. If well executed, Reaver can definitely defend 2-fact replay. Oh, I can just barely click on that support bay. Just over the top of the display there. And the Dragoon's just sitting outside. Now here comes the 2-fact. Now, how is he playing this? He's going to continue to make tanks and vultures? No, he's just going to rally vultures across the map with speed and mines. The Joyo 2-fact. Although, unfortunately, he's only got 2 tanks. There's 3. I was going to say, normally you have 3 tanks when you do this. So now it's going to come down to control from Oya and buying sufficient time for that Reaver to get out. Interestingly, he's making Dragoons back home. He's going for a tank snipe, but he's got to move away now. Too few Dragoons and too many well-connected tanks and Marines all balled up together. Don't want to engage that at this point. And heading straight towards that ramp, but the shuttle is out. So if he just sticks the Reaver on the ramp, that alone, that single Reaver shot could be very devastating here. But right now he is trying to back this up, trying to get a snipe off on that tank. Can he get one? Whoa, we zoomed in a little too much there. Reaver is down from the backfield and gets off one nice Reaver shot. Can't get another one yet. Dragoon's coming in here trying to do damage. But the Reaver goes down, but it gets a huge Scarab, and that cleans it up. And Raynor says, oops, which I can understand because that was a clustered Scarab. You almost didn't even see it go off. Everything just kind of died. But it is held, and the position is reasonably comfortable for Oya now. As his production up, definitely has a tech advantage. Abilities to harass. Is he getting speed? We must wonder inside that. Is he remaking his Reaver? Yeah, he is. Probably not a bad decision. I was able to click on it before. Let me click on it. Okay, he's not gonna get shuttle speed. Unless I missed something, he already has it. No, he doesn't have shuttle speed. But now, with his command center just starting, Raynor has to worry about defending that Reaver. Fortunately, he seems to have gotten an eBay, so he'll be able to at least have a few turrets and limit motion, or if he goes nuts, he could just put up a turret ring, but that would be a bit overkill when you're already a little behind. Alright, so here comes the shuttle. He's got a Dragoon in it. Oh, he's not watching it, though, so that's not the ideal start for a shuttle, especially with his second turret back there. I think the shuttle's dead, so that didn't go very well, although if the Scarab hits, it's worth something. It's worth something. Does drop. Oh, he should have walked the Dragoon on top of the tank. He missed the opportunity. Oh, sick. Reaver just walks out of trouble, and he's still continuing to make Reavers, so he's going to remake a shuttle and come back and harass with double Reaver, or maybe even 2 shuttles drop later. And, oh, he's going to try to run in here. This is very aggressive, trying to crawl in a Reaver. Second tank out now. Can he get on top of this? Yeah, he's going to get the first tank for sure, and it goes down to the Reaver Scarab. And, oh, man, this is denying Raynor's natural, so this is a huge deal. It looks like he might survive on his ramp because there isn't a shuttle to back this up, but flooding in some slots, and this command center is going to have to be canceled, which is just devastating here for Raynor. This is going to put Oya... Oh, it doesn't even get canceled, I don't think. No. Well, maybe he canceled it. He does still have 500 minerals after dropping a CC, so I think he canceled it. But now it looks like Raynor wants to, or Oya wants to force the issue, but there are getting to be 3 tanks on top of the ramp. That's a few too many. So will not be able to force the issue, but already a huge defining moment there as he snipes off that command center. Shuttle on the way. Still has this Reaver alive, let's keep in mind. And he made another Reaver. He's hanging out down here, so he's going to have the ability to shuttle harass with 2 Reavers. And I think there's a turret underneath this eBay. You better hope there is. Otherwise, this whole part of the base is oddly vulnerable to Reaver harass. And it's coming. Now with this second Reaver, did he get... Yeah, he's finally decided to get shuttle speed. Alright, so he's going to put not 2 Reavers in this. He knows there's some openings here on this side. But it looks like he wants to just fly in over here. And it is... Okay, so it is possible definitely to fly in here. But there are a lot of tanks out right now. If you would have brought 2 Reavers, I think it might have been a bit scarier. This one Dragoon is just not that intimidating, even if it does absorb a few tank shots and he goes for a good Reaver shot. But the shuttle is getting eaten alive, and that was... Well, that was very uninspiring. He basically got a shot off on a tank and nothing else. Not quite enough to kill those tanks, though. And now the second CC attempt is finally done, and at later than 10 minutes, Raynor will finally secure his natural expansion. Meanwhile, Oya's is rocking away, got 4 gates, I think if we count the one in the center. He's got some tech out, he's got his obs, and he's getting a 3rd base. Meanwhile, Raynor is only just now going through 5 factories. And sending out a few vultures, but the Dragoons are in perfect position to intercept a few of them and will kill one and soften up a few others, but he knows they are out on the map now. Tank's just kind of chilling at home, unsieged. Does he know about this one? Yeah, I guess he's gathered up the tank that was hanging at the top of his base. Some nice mines around this gateway, not a bad idea, but Oya not producing from that gateway, so in the end it doesn't even really matter. But look at this, we got some juicy probes here, and oh, okay, there's a Dragoon here in a good spot. Reaver denies the attempted entrance of the Vulture into the natural. So well handled there by Oya. And we've got 5 facts up and running for Mr. Raynor, who is adding an armory. No sign of a 3rd base, though. Interesting combination here to go with. what appears to be more or less an all-in push at this point, given the slowness of his natural expansion. And we can see that is heavily reflected in the supplies. 85 supply for our Protoss player to just 60 supply for our Terran player. And we have another shuttle filled with what? Just a single Reaver. Gonna probably pick up a Dragoon. Maybe get the second Reaver. I don't know. We'll see. What's he gonna get? Second Reaver? Alright. We got a 2 Reaver shuttle. And needs to be careful because I was hearing these tanks setting up. Oh, they're over here. Alright, so we got some tanks here in the middle of the map. And it looks like this push is firmly underway. Unfortunately, no macro supporting it, which is not ideal. Oh, those mines could have been dangerous, though. Didn't quite look like they were. We can see gate explosion from Oya as he's got his third base up and realizes he's getting pushed, trying to drop these Reavers in here. Good target firing, though. Reavers not getting off any good shots. Now, at this point, Oya is going to need to pull back as there are enough tanks to easily shred these goons. Those Reavers not really used efficiently enough to get big damage done. But a nice little reinforcement here, getting some Zlots out. Do we have any sort of leg speed for them? No. Citadel's over here. Yes, he's about to have leg speed, so that's looking pretty good for him. I'd like to see a little bit more obs coverage, but there's only, what, 2 Vultures in here? A lot of tanks, but some Zealots with legs could just mop those tanks up. I think one more production round here is probably going to be enough to deal with Raynor's push. And he's got his shuttle here. The Goon firing squad coming forward, but it's not exactly working together, dropping a few Zealots off, trying to get hits, forcing these tanks to run back. Now, can he get the Dragoons on top of them? Trying to pick off some of these hurt tanks, chasing them desperately with the Zealots, but Raynor wides that and just keeps pulling back, allows the Zealots to be killed off, and then sieges up here in this narrow little choke. But the production now for Oya is huge. He's got 8 gateways running. He's got his leg speed. In fact, he's got an Archives over here. I don't know if he has a Stargate coming. He actually does have a Stargate. Adding even more gateways, probably a Arbiter Tribunal at some point. Is there an Arbiter Tribunal anywhere yet? Possibly this building down here, but we can't exactly see what it is. And it looks like he is now charging here. He's bringing a bunch of goons, and we have a shuttle coming up with DTs. Oh, how perfect is that? And a Reaver. This should be enough here. Nice concentrated splash damage. These DTs are getting in amongst the tanks, pushing this backwards. So far, I don't see scans to help deal with this either. Finally back into turret range. DT's getting off a few hits. Shuttle tries for a pickup. Actually, very nice shuttle control there. Able to get that way, and he forces Oya back into his natural. And it's just looking worse and worse for Radley as he is pushed back here into his natural against a 3-base Protoss. Not what he wants. He needs to be killing off the 3rd base, aka or 4th base of Protoss. Really, both of them. While simultaneously getting a 3rd of his own. Just being out here like this is not a good position as Protoss just explodes in economy and supply. And we can see it's almost double supply for Oya at this point. But, of course, after getting your natural killed, you're kind of on limited options. You don't really have a good 5-fact timing because you've already lost your natural. But if you try to expand off of like 2 factories, your production is hurting so bad that it's really, really hard to defend. So it's just, you know, trying to make the best of a bad situation. And at one point, there's enough to make Protoss think. Nice intercept there. If he gets it, and Oya is not paying attention to this Reaver, so down goes that shuttle. A bit sloppy there from Oya as he brings up another shuttle containing at least 2 High Templar in it. What, 6 facts? But still no. Okay, he's trying to get a 3rd base now. Trying so hard to get that 3rd base, but can he get it? I don't think so. Nice long line of tank defense. I mean, I guess if he puts some tanks on the high ground, maybe he can secure it that way. But in the meanwhile, we have a storm drop going on back over here, which I actually just missed. And the Archon goes down. Looks like it definitely got some kills, though. And that first storm drop usually does come as a surprise and get kills. You're just not expecting it. And Raynor says, yeah, pathing is rigged here. I think he meant to say rigged, but he said ridged. He says my units cannot go from main. Yeah. And it looks like Raynor is going to go for one more little push. So Oya needs to get everything together if he's going to engage this. And here we go, coming from the side. We're going to have Zealots and Dragoons running up from the bottom also with Arbiter support and a shuttle in here. This looks like... Oh, nice target firing though. Does get one High Templar down, but it looks like a hell of a lot of Protoss. And I think Oya is finally going to roll over Raynor. And there we go. Yeah, it is GG's. And Raynor, or Oya, will take the series in the end 3-2. Solid win there for Oya. Although, given those first two games, Oya really had to work for the rest of the series after just absolutely dominating his way through the first part. So we'll say Oya 3-2 over Radley. And then we'll go into our next series, which is between Cryok and I honestly forget who. Well, let's find out. Fortunately, we have that power because it's listed for us between Cryok and Red Warrior. He spells his name with a lot of numbers. Score, properties, edit, and Cryok. 0. 0. Okay. Zoom out. And okay, almost ready. Although I have forgotten to download some games. Make sure I have them all. Brood War replays. Games. Card Cup. Cryok. Alright, I think we are roughly good to go. So, let us begin our series. Between Cryok and Red Warrior. And of course, starting on clay fields. Spawning over on the left side as the Red Zerg, we have Red Warrior, how fitting. And on the right side, bottom right side, as the White Terran, we have IFU's Cryok. And of course, I would have to say in this series that Cryok is heavily favored, simply because he is one of the more notable, stronger foreign Terran players, whereas Red Warrior is not a particularly well-known Zerg. And on top of that, it's TVZ, which can be a little bit tricky for Zergs. But I think this series has a reasonable discrepancy in skill. But I could be wrong, and if Red Warrior is really legit, you know, like a 2.5k plus guy, and I'm underestimating him, I apologize in advance for my sins. But from what I know, Cryok is going to be heavily favored here. Overlord is going to scout immediately the wrong direction. That looks... No, it doesn't look exactly like Fighting Spirit, but it still reminds me of Fighting Spirit. Just the look of the natural is very similar. Like, definitely this map takes a little bit of inspiration from Fighting Spirit. And barracks from Cryok. And we're going to have drones. We're going to have 12 hatch here from Red Warrior. And out goes drone 1 and a scouting drone, so looking pretty standard right now. Just going to drop that hatchery at some point here, maybe. There we go. Hatch goes down. Now, will he make 2 more drones, go with the optimized 13 pool, or will he hold on and go straight? Looks like he's going to hold on and go straight for 11 pool. Not going with the economically optimized variation as taught by Scan and other Korean players. Alright, we got 200 minerals. Are we gonna do 3 hatch? Oh, no, we're gonna put a pool down here. Okay. And, oh, we're gonna go 2 hatch. Alright, so I'm just totally making assumptions and ignoring the fact that there exists other builds in Brood War besides 3 hatch. Alright, so gas on the way. Hatch on the way. Tech undetermined. Drone gonna go up the ramp and see a Marine. Hi, Marine. Why do you want to kill me? And just gonna leave that Overlord there, chilling over the thing, getting gas mining. Hatchery and pool are solidly on the way. Now, how many lings are we gonna make? 1 pair? Just 1 pair of lings. And, oh, we're gonna get ling speed? Wait, what? Oh, lair over here. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say. A lair over there. Lair of the bear. And SCV coming on back to the base. Still scouting around in the main. Gonna get a glimpse of that lair. Oh, nice turnaround to go back up the ramp. Had it well clicked on the minerals there. So is able to sneak back into the base, continue his scouting journey. Be able to observe maybe what tech goes down. Looking probably for that Hydra Den here at halfway, but he's not seeing it. Only needs to keep it alive for a little bit longer. And he can basically confirm that this is going to be 2 hatch Muta here from Red Warrior. And we still don't see a Hydra Den, so pretty much looks like we're dealing with a 2 hatch Muta build. Getting his link speed out now as well. And he's going to turn around one more time. I don't think he'll be able to get in with this. Oh, he's trying, but Red Warrior looks like he's on top of this. Second barrack here from Cryok. Looks to be an eBay down there. But not a particularly fast one. So we're probably not looking at +1/5 racks here. And he's going to go back and build a bunker, as a few more lings will probably be made from Warrior. There's the Spire. Usually it's common to make at least a control group of lings when you're playing 2 hatch Muta. You can run in there. If Terran walks out too far with his Marines, you can pick him off and really punish him. Maybe run in there, pull the Marines out of position, kill a few turrets, leave a few openings there for your Mutas to do damage. Obviously when you're playing 2 hatch Muta, you need to get something done with the Mutas. You can't just use them. You're not just using them just to buy time. You're truly using them as a offensive damage dealer. And here we go, Red Warrior trying to bait in with a single ling, looking for some opportunities. And the Spire just about done. And oh, he's going to take a quick third base. He's going to try to transition out of this. No turrets yet for Cryok. Oh, his engineering bay isn't even done. Is that timing right? Those turrets are a bit late, I think. I think turrets need to start like right when the Muta hatch. And I don't know if he's... It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. It's going to be... Wow, okay. I take back what I said. That's just like... Boom. That's just on point. That is just about on point. The eBay is finishing. The first turret or 2 should be starting literally any moment. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Look at that. That's like flash level timing right there. Crack had that just down to a T. Oh man. All right, it could have been 2 seconds later, but oh, and the Marine's perfectly waiting. So the initial defense from Cryok is just bang on point. Slowly adding a few more turrets, doing everything right so far against this build. What is the status of his upgrade? About halfway to range, pretty typical stuff. So this is the nice window here to get something done with his Mutas for Red Warrior. Unfortunately, he is not busy microing them right now. He's waiting for larger numbers. Doesn't really have enough to run in, and Crack chases, tries to pick off the SCV building that turret, does successfully get it, but will have to back out with his Muta for the time being. Getting a few drones over here at the third base, and transitioning, grabbing an Evo chamber. Interesting, Evo chamber. And only has a few Muta already. He's going to make a full group. but I'm curious exactly where he goes from here. Can't really engage this Marine group. It's just staying very bunched up in the main. Not worth it to run in there and try to attack that with Mutalisks. Gonna have to look for other places where you can come and harass, maybe pick off a few of those guys. Force them to run around a bit, comes in, tries to get that SCV, doesn't quite get it. There we go, now gets a nice pick off or two on the Marines. So Red Warrior definitely a bit better than I thought. We can see just from the meter control and the general rhythm of his play. I was thinking he was like a under 2k guy, but I'm thinking he's definitely better than that. Queen's Nest, so we're gonna go skipping Lurkers, and then he's also getting his Carapace upgrade, which is basically on par with Terran, so it's gonna be a nice upgrade situation this whole game for Red Warrior if he can prolong this game. And just working his way around with the Muta. But I guess the way he's playing this, he's actually not looking to deal tons of damage per se. Just looking for opportunities here, just trying to buy a little bit of time. I'm curious how he's planning to eventually defend this right here. Alright, so we're having Sunkens going up. He's definitely going to need those. Alright, so that's what, 1 group, 2 groups. We got 4 medics. I mean, this is a lot of busting power right now from Cryok. He's got to buy at least a little bit of time so those sunken colonies can finish, and then we'll see how he defends from there. And of course, with the second base, this is basically at this point a hidden base that he's relying on Cryok not scouting if he even tries to stay alive down here. But Cryok is stimming across the map, it looks like. Alright, so I still don't know if this is enough sunken to defend. Meter are kind of out of position. I mean, just on its own, it's definitely not enough. We'll see if Cryok gathers himself and then just goes for it. Sees him lead with the medics a little bit. Yeah, he's getting the medics in position. Just wants to lead with that first one, and there we go. Nice lead with the medics. Marines now charging in. They're a little bit clustered up, though, so this will give a possible chance for him to defend, especially with the Lings there, and for the moment, at least, Red Warrior is going to hold on, and I think he's actually reduced the Marine force enough in size that he's going to be okay, at least for the moment, stabilizing. Has a few Sunkens over here at his top base. This Overlord, though, is headed towards its death. Maybe. Maybe. Alright, there we go. Crack's going to hunt that bad boy down. Finish it off. Looking for a base over there, but there is none. Muta coming in trying to get a little bit of damage done, but Crack well on top of that with his micro. Oh, careful, Red Warrior. We got the Vessel tank coming up. Hive is definitely done at this point, but again, no Lurkers, just trying to go straight for Ultra. And it looks like Crack is thinking about busting in here again. Muta are in a different spot now, and they're actually getting some pretty good damage done on these Marines, but has he reduced the number enough? I guess he has, that he's not going to engage. Oh, and there's a tank here, so this is definitely an issue now. SCV's going to discover this base, and that is probably going to force Crack's hand and make him want to go for something a bit faster. Ultra Cavern is done, but there's no Carapace, which will make these Ultras awfully squishy, and of course there also won't be speed. And I don't even know if we'll have them out in time to stop, 3 or 4 of these Sunkens getting busted down by this tank. These Muta are in pretty low numbers, so they're not very useful for trying to snipe off that tank and keep them alive any longer. And it looks like Crack is going to simultaneously send a small force up here to this base, but there are no medics with this, so these Lings can get a little bit done if there were just a few more of them. Sunken slowly dying, and now Crack is just going to charge in there. Here comes the Marine force. The medics there supporting. This time we are a little bit more all able to attack at once, and it looks like Crack has busted through here. 1 Ultra is out, but really is 1 Ultra enough? To be honest, I don't really think so. If he had huge armor upgrades, it might be enough to back this up, especially with a few Lings, but under these situations, not really. And of course, this base also getting sieged, and it looks like Crack is on his way to victory. The Hive is going to go down. The Natural's lost. This puts Zerg on only 2 base. He's got no real way to save this base, especially with the Nidus down and the tank attacking. There are these 2 Ultras, but they just have 1 Carapace, so the Marine damage onto these Ultras is pretty high. Does have a couple more popping, but it's just not quite enough. If you could have bought another minute or 2, those Ultras would have been very scary, but not enough time bought. And Cryok takes a 1-0 lead over Red Warrior. Ah! What was that? I don't know. Alright, game 2. Red Warrior looks for vengeance against Cryok. So it looks like it's Clayfields, Crown and Scepter, Clayfields, Crown and Scepter, I think. Or maybe it's 2 Clayfields, 1 Crown and Scepter, 2 Clayfields. Not exactly sure. Spawning in the top left-hand position as the Red Terran, we have IFU's Cryok. And in the bottom left-hand position as the Blue Zerg, we have Red Warrior. Fighting it out to see who can become the #1 legend of Card Cup. And right now, that is looking like Cryok. And I don't know anything about Red Warrior's play, but he has already, from game 1, showed us that he is not just a player that does exclusively standard games. He's certainly not averse to doing builds that are a little bit more unique. I mean, Crazy Zerg isn't like the craziest thing in the world, but it's certainly not standard Zerg play. Especially not in 2018. 20 plus years of this game. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And still this good. And this time, Red Warrior is going to have the Overlord going directly to the correct location. Has Overlord on the way. Looks like it's going to be another hatch first. Yep. It'd be funny if he did the Pauline and did 11 hatch. Or was it 11 pool? I think it was 11 pool that Pauline loved. But he was in love with that build. But I don't think he posts as much anymore. Alright, so first one goes out to Scout, second one drops to Hatcher. Oh, there's like... that's a nice little noob-friendly touch. These squares basically just indicate where you should put your... Nexus CC hatchery. Just throw it down right there. It's all good. We're going down, barracks. And we got the pool, so same stuff so far, although he has not taken the gas nearly as fast, so I think he's planning to put down a 3rd hatchery. And maybe look at a slightly more standard game. There's the drone coming. It's gonna make a hatchery. Hatchery. And then we should see some gas. Alright. Hello, GG'er Money. And oh man, we got a Cryok fan in here. We got Casey, Mr. Blue, doing some rooting for Terran. He wants the Zerg to die, but I have to oppose you because, let's face it, Zerg is cooler, so it's gotta be the Zerg that wins. Unfortunately, I've got a bad feeling about this. I think the Zerg is gonna die. Cryok's pretty good. Someone needs to get like Larva or Effort or somebody in here, and even this painful Zerg dying. But Red Warrior, I have faith. He's gonna surprise me, and he's gonna kill Cryok the next 3 games in a row, and I'm gonna be very satisfied. All right, so Cryok's got a CC almost up, getting gas. Looking fairly normal. Does not look like +1 5 rack so far. Or is it? Oh, okay, it might be +1. Got the eBay going up first. Trying to chase away a few of these lings. Looks like he was unable to snipe any, so good paying attention / control here from Red Warrior as he tries to move these Marines out. Maybe look for a chance to sneak in, get some scouting information on Cryok. Now, if his ling speed is finishing up soon... Oh, he hasn't even started yet. Okay. Trying to chase the SCV, but the Marines from Cryok skillfully coming down here to hopefully bait the lings into this. Actually, no, he's going to keep going down here with these Marines, pushing out quite a ways, trying to force out a few more lings from Red Warrior, and he has done that. And Red Warrior is now going to see that the number out here is 5, and with his 2 plus, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever he's got over here, definitely enough to come in there and kill those guys. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, but Crack is now back in his natural in a wonderful defensive setup. Not going to be feeling in trouble at all. Getting that weapons upgrade. And Spire on the way here for Red Warrior, who seems to really like making the lair at his natural. Nothing wrong with that. Certainly is a viable and acceptable option. And now the barracks explosion from Cryok. Will he put down a 5th, or is this just 4? Subtle differences between the two. A little bit less pressure with 4. Slightly faster tech timing. It looks like he is going to stay on 4 as he gets his stim, or is he going to put down a 5th? Oh, trying to run in the lane here. Looking around, looking around. Maybe get an SCV. Will Crack react fast enough? Yes, he will. With just that one lane, and it's trying. Oh, Crack with a slight slip up is going to let the Ling from Red Warrior run into the base. We'll confirm the barracks count, know exactly what he's up against. Although that Ling will promptly be maybe assassinated. Okay, promptly be assassinated. Should have some Mutalisks on the way, and we've got a drone over here to make the third base, sorry. Check that. 4th hatchery. And probably we'll see Lurker, yeah. So very standard looking game up to this point. And we'll probably see another round of Marines from Cryok, and then we'll see everything moving out. Gathering up, getting ready to deal with a little bit of Mutalisk's harass as a few Lings, ooh, nice time for a few Lings to run in here. But just 2, so not that scary, and Marines coming down from all sides. Actually going to trap those Lings off pretty nicely. Yeah, from all sides. No way these Lings are going to get in anywhere and cause any trouble. Well handled there by Crack. Mutalisks now out here for Red Warrior as the Marine count from Mr. Cryok grows. Still no defense at the front from Red Warrior, which means that it's going to be absolutely vital that the Muta harass delay Cryok, or else his Marines can just walk into the natural and kill him. And that is a lot of Marines in a very defensive position right now. And unfortunately for Red Warrior, he is taking a lot of initial damage on his Muta. That's definitely not the kind of harass you want to start with. Not exciting to have harass like that happen. And now it looks like Crack said, alright, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I got good initial trades. He doesn't have a ton of Muta. I'm going to start moving out on the map. I'm going to start killing off these Lings over here. Red Warrior reacts. Muta trying to come into the base and do a bit of damage, but Cryok has left a few Marines behind. Not that many, but the target firing here is not good from Red Warrior. And while he does still have some Muta alive, 8 of them, he is also looking like he's going to lose his natural. So I think Crack's has got to wait on reinforcements here. He does kill the Academy, which is not bad. No more medics for a short period of time, but does it matter if you block medics if you're about to lose everything? He's trying to pull these Hydralisks back. He's going to start Lurker Morph, but man, it's going to be a while before he has Lurkers. The Naturals is completely down. The third base still alive. Maybe morphing Lurkers over there. No, doesn't really have enough money to do that. The Muta have been chased out, and he does have the ramp blocked off, but of course this base is going down. His Spire's going down, and he's lost his tech now, so he's got no chance of getting Hive, which is a huge issue. And some reinforcements going across the map here. Muta's coming back to try and defend, but there aren't really that many of them left. This is not enough to fight efficiently. Oh, one of the Lurkers goes down immediately. He's going to get one burrowed, but one does not hold off, and there it is. GG is said, and Cryok goes up 2-0 in this series. And Red Warrior now will have to fight to avoid getting 3-0'd by Cryok. Can he do it? Can he come up with a win, or will Cryok just run over him on Crown and Scepter? How old was this game? These are from like just a couple weeks ago, I think. So fairly new. I can tell you when this was played. This was played, I guess this game was played 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Looks like. We're getting caught up on all the games from Card Cup over the next week or two, hopefully. So yeah, that's what's up with that. That's what's up with that. Fuck, it's hot in here too. It's like 90 degrees in this room. Let me tell you, that's a bit uncomfortable. It's a bit uncomfortable. You know, if you saw my back right now, you would think I was, I don't know, just under incredible pressure. Just the amount of sweat just streaming down is, it's a little rough. It's a little rough, to be perfectly honest. Overlord heading down towards the south. Depot for Cryok. And another... Okay, I can't call it too early. But it looks like another 12 hatch from Red Warrior. Yep. Well, he definitely likes his 12 hatches, that much is for certain. Watermelon and tea. Watermelon and tea. I don't know if taking off my shirt would get me more viewers, given that the audience here is Broodor. If the audience was like a higher distribution of females, it might be a little more effective. But it probably will come up at some point, in all honesty, because it is brutally hot in here. Sleeping when it's like 90, 95 is not fun. You get a big old fan on you, and it helps a little bit, but when it's 90, it's still fucking hot. It's the no AC life in summer. But the good news is I don't live in a place where in the south, so it's not like I've got humidity. Because if it was 90 and humid, I'd be a very, very sad, very miserable panda. And the amount of sweat that would be pouring off me would be just pouring off my face. I'd just be like raining sweat. Like, I sweat hard as it is, and I hate to think what would happen if I was in a humid climate. It would just be a disaster of epic proportions. Now, CadenZie might tune in anyway, I don't know, because her game is up next. But then again, she's in Korea right now, and I don't know what time it is in Korea. I think they're way ahead, or behind. I don't even know how to think about it. I guess you could say they're behind by like maybe 12 hours, so it's probably really early in the morning in Korea, if I'm thinking of this correctly. Like, people are about to wake up in Korea, maybe? I guess that seems about right, because like 12 hours from now is usually even. Yeah, that seems about right. Because, you know, StarCraft games usually are going on, you know, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours from now, and that's usually like evening matches in Korea, so yeah, it's like wee morning hours over there. 13 hours ahead, or I guess it's also fundamentally correct to think 11 hours behind. Well, no, it's not fundamentally correct, but it's a similar way to think about what time it is. But if I think 13 hours ahead, then yeah, it's wee morning hours of Korea, just it's very morning-esque over there. So instead of being the second like it is here in the States, it's the third. Ooh, I like this. Putting a few Marines on the ramp here. I'm just not going to let the Zerglings get in here at all to take a look. Now, I don't know if there's... Oh, never mind. I don't like this at all. I don't know what... I wonder if Crack knows this is possible. This is going to be annoying for him. He's probably going to lose a Marine. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Actually, pretty good reactions. Okay. Good from Crack. Snipes off a Ling. Nothing gets into Scout. Still alive with the SCV. We'll get one last look. He's seen the layer timing. He's seen that more Zerglings haven't been produced. Do I still ride? Yes, I certainly do still ride. Not quite as much as I'd like, just with things being busy with school and all that kind of stuff, but, you know, it's summer now, so it's a little bit easier. I've been getting in, I don't know, 8-10 hours a week. I'd like to have 50% more than that, but enough to be plenty fit. Maybe not like top racing shape fit, but yeah. Although it's brutal riding on these days where it's like 95 or 100. I'll go out and what normally gives me a heart rate of like 125, 130, I'll be doing like heart rate 150 just because it's so hot. Body's working so hard to cool itself down. Alright, Spire goes down for Warrior. Or should I say Red Warrior. And again, that +1 5 racks or +1 4 racks build from Cryok. And a few Zerglings running down. I don't know why they're going down here. I don't know why they're going down here. He's made quite a few of them, though. But there's a bunker from Cryok, so Kryak is looking pretty safe unless he does something stupid. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. All right. Well, now if Kryak doesn't read this right and walks out, he could easily get all of his Marines massacred, and then struggle to deal with the mutas or be held up a lot longer than he'd like. Of course, if he just sits back and handles it well, Red Warrior just threw away the possibility of making like 8 or 10, 9 or 10 drones, so... Oh, yeah, I guess I could see when you say, do you ride, I could see why you'd think horses, but nah, pedal bikes and shit. I've ridden horses a few times, it's alright. But like the second time I rode, the horse tried to buck me off. Oh, he's just going to try to run here and go for it. Alright, so we got a quasi-ling on. Let's see, he's got a pretty... Oh, no, he almost had a beautiful distribution, and then his ling's just totally fucked up. Jesus Christ. That... I don't know what went wrong there. He's still getting some damage done, but that looked like it was like a game-winning ling surprise. And then the lings just went berserk and did nothing, and he got 5 or 6 in, which is great. Like, this is not like horrible for Red Warrior, but oh, it looked like he had the game. I don't even know what happened there. Fire Bat's coming out from Kryak. I mean, this will eventually get cleaned up, but he certainly has lessened the Marine count right now. There's a few left in that bunker. I don't see any medics right now, though, and none are being produced. Lings are going in, trying to get a few SCV kills. Can they surround one of these Fire Bats? Probably not. Should have the Muta out. Yeah, now the Muta are flying across the map, and it has delayed Kryak enough that it's delayed his turret. So this has actually done a lot here for Red Warrior, and he does have a chance to get some damage done against Kryak with only 1 turret and a few Marines out. If the Muta control is sharp, then he might get something done here. He's blocking turrets around the barracks. So far, this is going well for Red Warrior. In spite of only getting 6 lings, Kryak has just been a little bit overwhelmed by this, and let's see what he can pick off here. He does finally have a few medics out, and Marines are going to get a few pick-off. I'm surprised, or the Mutas are going to get a few pick-off. I'm surprised he's going straight for the SCVs and not just trying to limit the Marine count. That seems like the better thing to do right now, especially with no turrets. And Kryak bringing everything back. Red Warrior microing his heart out. Does he have more mutas coming? Yes, he does have a few coming, but it looks like he's going to be driven out of the base for now. Good job, doesn't fly the muta over, but now he's got more like 9 or 10 or 11, which is enough to really do some good harassing. So let's see what he can get done here. Trying to find these Fire Bats, gets the jackpot on Fire Bats. It's forcing all the Marines from Kryak back to defend. Can Red Warrior take a game off of one of the better Terran players in the foreign scene right now? Muta's trying to get damage done, but a lot of Marines popping for Kryak, and it's on that verge. If the micro is really crisp from Red Warrior, might be able to do it, but otherwise Kryak has a pretty good chance to stabilize at this point, especially since there's only 8 or 9 muta in that flock, and he is finally getting some turrets up. The bunker is undefended, picking off a few Marines, but then Kryak is going to go ahead and garrison that bunker, and of course repair is going to make this not an especially worthwhile thing to do. He does have a few lings out here, which I think is why he's trying to micro down that bunker. And yeah, in come the lings now, but there are some Fire Bats in there, and he goes for the run into the main. Not a bad play from Red Warrior. Can he get the surround? These lings are just being so stupid again for him. And those lings had a lot of potential to kill off that Marine group, but again, they were mismicroed or something happened with the lings, and they just didn't do anything. And now down to just 3 muta, 2 muta, and okay, we got a few more being rallied in. Red Warrior trying to go just mutiling all in, sensing that he had an opportunity there, but it looks like Kryak at this point is going to stabilize. He's got quite a few Marines and medics up here in his natural. Red Warrior only has about 7 or 8 muta right now. There's now a full complement of turrets up, and it looks like a pretty standard routine position at this point, but with a frail economy, a very frail economy here from Red Warrior. And yeah, Kryak I think is now pretty comfortable with his position. Would have to make a pretty big mistake at this point, I think, to throw away the game. In comes the Muta trying to get off, trying to kill another turret. Yeah, that's how Muta get off. They fly into Terran's base. He's going to try another Ling run in, but really there's not that many opportunities here. He's really trying to get something done, and he will pick off a few Marines, but not that worth it. Muta's still trying to get some damage done, but there are so many Marines up here. In a relatively strong cluster, and of course that +1 is done for Kryak, so not too stressed here. I don't think Kryak is. In fact, we'll probably see Kryak move out here fairly soon as he puts down that factory. I mean, this base is going up, but are there even lurkers on the way? It does not seem like it. No, this is pretty much just going all in with the Muta at this point, just getting an extra base for maybe a little more gas, but now Kryak is out on the map. There are no Sunkens in the front. He's going to be forced to make panic Sunkens, but look at that economy. There's you know, literally 10 or 11 drones mining right now. So Red Warrior just incredibly thin as Kryak marches across the map here. Trying to get a little bit done with Lings, but unfortunately they are just lining into their death. Too many Marines here. And this game looks pretty damn over, barring something I have totally missed, like him holding 40 Muta back as a surprise. And Kryak stings and runs in with the Marines. Muta trying to get a little damage done, and they're actually doing better than I expected, but it's soon going to whittle down here. Can he clean this up? Some Lings popping, maybe the slightest of chances, but I just don't think there's enough Muta realistically, and nope, there it is. GG. Kryak with the 3-0 over Red Warrior. Stretch. And that will take us to our final series, which is going to be CadenZie versus Favorit. Kryak, the winner there, 3-0 over Red Warrior. And then we will go into clay fields. CadenZie versus Favorit. Alright, we have 0-0. We have slight ugliness. Fix that. Minus that. Move that. And we will start this game, and then I'm going to grab a drink of water, and I will be right back. Hopefully no one drone rushes. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I guess we'll introduce players first. Spawning in the top left-hand position as our brown Protoss, we have Favorit. And on the right side as the red Zerg blowing up recently on Afrika, we have CadenZie. And I'll be right back. Alright, looks like nobody drone rushed, so that's good. We now have holy water. I'm decently tempted to just, you know, take the glass and just turn it over. But not quite ready to pull the trigger yet. So it looks like Favorit's going to put up a gate first. A little aggression. And Favorit I know is a decent player. I want to say he's at least B. Or was at least B on I Cup days. Not sure what his MMR is or who's Favorit here, but I think we should have a decent series. And of course CadenZie right now over in Korea playing in the Team League, or was playing in the Team League, as one of the female players, and I believe was more or less the dominant female player. Brittany had a well-planned, smart recruit. And gateway up for CadenZie. Just build a hatchery right here. Just do it. Just do it because you can. And here comes the probe scout here from Favorit. Oh man, look at those mandibles. Vicious. Like, look at that jawline. Just crazy. It's like two saws just put together. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of harass on the drone. Scaring the probe away. And this drone here is going to die. So not the best drone reaction ever from CadenZie. But these a lot out, and because CadenZie has gone overpool, going to force the first zealot from Favorit to stay back home and just defend. Nexus goes down. And then you can put down a forge and start to wall this off if necessary. Or just wait for a couple zealots before he moves out to put on any pressure. We can see CadenZie has about 4 lings out, getting a pretty fast gas. Actually, never mind, normal gas. Has that third base going down as well. And 2 slots coming across the map, third on the way. Should see here shortly a gas for Favorit. Where's that gas? Not going to take it right away? No, he's going to make another slot. All right. And here comes 2 slots and a probe in here on CadenZie. Oh, wow, very nice combined hit there from Favorit as he immediately takes down a ling. And CadenZie is definitely going to need to get her micro a little bit more focused here, trying to run in, trying to get some kills on these zealots. But of course the probe is in there. Nice surround though. Although it didn't look like all those lings were attacking there for a moment, trying desperately to get this last one. And does get it, but that was 6 lings traded for a single zealot. So Favorit definitely coming out ahead in the initial stages here. And of course the zealot still has the annoying probe, which is allowing it to 2-shot lings and drones. But there are 4 zerglings here, which should make it fairly easy to kill this zealot, especially if CadenZie intelligently splits her units across. But I guess she's just going to leave the zealot back here and perhaps come across the map. But there's 2 zealots back here for Favorit defending and not that many lings. So I don't think she's too stressed. And there we go. A few lings being dedicated to kill this zealot. Just needs to run the drones, make sure they don't die to the slot. And it would appear that they do not. So that zealot will soon see the end of its life. There we go. Cleaned up, but CadenZie has been forced to make a lot of lings. In fact, I feel like she feels she's taken enough damage that she's just going to go for it. Going for the ling all in is CadenZie right now, and oh, pretty good so far from Favorit though. Tries to run in though, and CadenZie does slip some lings by. How far away are we from ling speed? And we got a little bit of ways. Nice pro blocking here by Favorit, and really in most ways so far this game is not going CadenZie's way. Favorit is handling this very well, although he gets his first zealot really badly surrounded, so there's a nice moment for CadenZie. Now trying to attack the pylon. Going to be important to delay for time. Also trying to bring down that gateway, make it really easy for the lings to run in. More lings swarming in. Zealot for a moment for Favorit actually attacks his own gateway, which isn't helpful, and now CadenZie coming in from the other side with some lings, and suddenly it looks like Favorit might be running out of units. He is microing pretty well with those zealots, but lings are streaming in across the map from 3 hatches for CadenZie, and those zealot numbers are rapidly lowering. Probes are pulled, but is it too late? She's got a 4 zealot surround on this, though the probe damage is pretty good. Holding for the moment is Favorit. Can he stabilize? Are there cannons on the way? There is indeed a cannon. He really needs to get 1 or 2 of those up. There's still 1 zealot alive. CadenZie target firing down probes. Looking for that surround on that zealot. Not really getting it. Probes in a good position. There's a surround, and that is a big one. Now there's just probes. The lings will target them down easily, and it's looking like CadenZie has forced this ling all in to work, and indeed Favorit is forced to say GG, and CadenZie will take game 1 after the take damage into ling harass tactic. Which will bring us to game 2 between CadenZie and Favorit. So, spawning in the top right-hand position as the White Zerg, we have CadenZie. And in the bottom left-hand position, down 1-0, we have Favorit. Succumbing to a ling all-in. I don't know what I'd do with that water. God, it looks so ugly if you zoom in this far. Fat probes. It reminds me of that big SCV thread, except these are not SCVs. These are big drones. Look at that. Imagine if you had to play on this resolution. Jesus Christ. That would just be savage. Out comes the probe to build a pylon. Seems the natural. Pretty normal thing for a probe to do, in all honesty. Oh, someone was asking how much I run. I used to do a decent amount of running. I'd run like, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 miles a week, somewhere in that range. Never huge miles, but, you know, enough to be like seriously running. But nowadays, not that often. I try to run maybe a little bit in the fall sometimes. But for right now, it's just cycling. And again, the gate first from Favorit. So after having a brutal defeat in game 1, he's going to follow it up and give it another rip here in game 2. And Probe is going to scout incorrectly. These lurker eggs are interesting. There's got to be logic behind why they're there and positioned that way, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's to slightly narrow the ramp, or what the intended use of those lurker eggs in that position is. I don't have a good answer, though. And in comes a Probe. And it sneaks right on by. So CadenZie unable to get that drone into a perfect blocking position. And the first Zealot out now, heading across the map. And this time he can come right away because CadenZie has opted to go for the pillage. So it doesn't have to keep Zealots at home to deal with early Lings out. Oh, and third base down, third hatch down for CadenZie, and here comes the annoying Probe, but not going to do anything yet. Going to wait for that Zealot, gather up together, and go in and try to pick off some units. But right now the Ling surround is pretty good, but man, that Probe is worth its weight in gold. Look at this. Zealot is just terrorizing these Probes. Definitely Favorit is getting the better of CadenZie in these early game micro situations. I mean, already CadenZie's been forced to make extra Lings, and the Zealot has traded efficiently. You know, it's killed 3 Lings itself, and I think the Probe has a kill, so yeah, 4 Lings already, so it's still alive. And not by much, though. It shouldn't really get another kill if CadenZie is at all careful. But, yeah, not able to get another kill. And these Lings poking at the gateway, but there's already a forge, a little bit of defense up there. And some Zerglings coming across the map. Now is CadenZie going to make a whole bunch more Zerglings? No, she's going to go back to droning. She's going to pressure the wall a little bit. But with the Zealot count here from Favorit, alright, looks like, no, never mind, Link speed's not done. Oh, wait. So yeah. Actually trying to get a surround on these Zealots, but I think there's just too many here for these Lings to be effective. CadenZie's trying to bait one out and take a good trade, but it's not really working out for her. To be honest, she just kind of threw away some Zerglings trying to break down that wall. So, suboptimum trade. And now the cannon is up, so Favorit completely comfortable. And in fact, Favorit is going to re-Zealot pressure, which will be pretty annoying for CadenZie, especially since he's making Overlords right now. Should be forced to make a decent number of Lings or sunken up. Not the greatest position for CadenZie right now. And I think, in fact, especially with this Probe still alive, Favorit is probably going to commit to running across the map. And he's seen the Hydra Den, so he's going to be aware of this all in. And send these Zealots over here, and that's going to force CadenZie to basically evacuate this base. To be honest, I don't think she can hold it. So it'll be interesting to see where the game goes from here, because this is not going to be good at all for CadenZie. She's going to have to make a boatload of Lings to have any chance of defending this. Drones immediately have to run, and we'll see if Favorit... Wow, he's really going to chase these... yeah, that was not the best from Favorit. And of course, Ling speed is done now, so Favorit needs to be cognizant of keeping his Zealots together and not making mistakes like that. Oh man, these Speedlings are going to be worth their weight in gold, actually keeping these Zealots from linking up. Had they linked up, it could have been a bit scary, but now Favorit might just lose all of the... Okay, he's going to move back to the ramp. That's a pretty smart idea, at least. And that'll be really annoying for... Well, I don't know what he's doing now. If he goes all the way up the ramp, he's just going to donate them. Is he adding cannons? Yeah, he's adding cannons, but he doesn't have that much at the front. I don't know why he moved away from the ramp. That was questionable. He should have just stuck his zealots on the ramp. It would have bought him a little bit of time, or if it didn't buy him time, then CadenZie would have been required to risk going all in for what's, you know, for the vulnerable defenses here, while leaving this base to be attacked by the zealots chilling on the ramp. But instead, Favorit just kind of threw his units away, and now he doesn't have a lot, but he has bought a decent amount of time, and it looks like he's going to have at least a few cannons ready, so I think he's got a pretty good chance of holding CadenZie off at this point in time. Yeah, she can set this Hydras to attack the gateway, but not much behind that. Waiting on that range right now. Does have the Hydra speed upgrade out, so that part is good. What is the status of leg speed? It's getting pretty close actually for Favorit too, so. Although there are enough Hydra out now that once range kicks in, cannons start to become pretty snipeable, particularly if she takes down the Forge. And the other thing she might do is run the Lings in first and then the Hydra on top and try to quickly snipe down the cannons. They do end up definitely being worth it to have a few Lings you can send in that manner. And start setting up those Hydralisks to attack that Forge. And I think she's gathering. She goes, oh, but I don't know. The Lings aren't doing anything right now. It's probably not how she wanted to use her Zerglings. And now the Hydra on top of the cannons and the Lings on top of the cannons. One cannon down. Can she get a second cannon and get the third one up in the front row? That'll certainly make it easier to take down the Forge. Hydra moved back nicely, which is going to force those probes back. And yeah, now the Forge can be easily taken down, so that's a nice win from CadenZie, but it looks like she is indeed transitioning out of this Hydra den, out of this Hydra bust. Had she continued Hydra production, she probably could have busted. This is pretty thin from Protoss. Pretty thin. Gateway count's not that insane yet. And she did make a few more Hydra, but she took a pause to add a fourth hatch, to add a few more drones, and that should give Favorit enough of a window to defend this. Did get one more cannon out, but these cannons are now really vulnerable. Super easy to snipe this one, but now we're starting to get a little bit better Zealot production. I don't think he's quite ready to run out into CadenZie's Hydras yet as gateways come online. Getting a few Dark Templars out, which will be nice. That will chase this away completely because the nearest Overlord is in a far direction. CadenZie goes for it again, though, and the Zealots running forward. Yeah, one cannon easily sniped, and now this is nice. She's going to get rid of all these Zealots, force a bunch of probes to be killed, killing off a lot of probes. Oh, she's running forward super aggressively. I'm surprised she's not just pulling back and getting a bunch of probe kills out of this, and she'll move in one more time, maybe finish off the cannons, but then these DTs are going to force her to run away or lose all these Hydra. It looks like she actually wants to continue the pressure, very aggressive, wants to get these High Templar, trying to save it with an Archon Morph, but she does snipe them off in time, so that is a nice snipe. One last cannon getting made, that goes down. Now can CadenZie close the game out from here? Will an Overlord get over in any sort of reasonable timing to allow her to finish Favorit off here in a very vulnerable spot? I don't think the Hydra production, well, she does have 4 hatches. If she can support it, 4 hatches can probably handle this level of gateway production, especially without the Templar support, as she did just kill those Templar off. But a lot of units here, a lot of DTs, and we'll see how the micro is from CadenZie. She is going to force Favorit back for the moment. Favorit does have a Forge, though. I forgot about that. So Favorit can try to replenish his cannons. That Overlord is getting much closer. Zealot's being targeted down. Needs to be very wary of these DTs, though, at least until that Overlord is there in range. These DTs have gone out too far. A bit of a mistake there from Favorit, as he's going to throw that one away. And Favorit is definitely still clinging on here for dear life, trying to hold off CadenZie. He's making an Archon that's going to add some support. I guess he feels he doesn't have enough time for Storm. No DTs snuck out to harass CadenZie's bases, and there's no units right now from Favorit. This is looking pretty bad. There is this Archon here. It is tanky, and in small numbers, it does work okay against Hydra, but once the Hydra numbers get a little bit bigger, the Archons become really crappy. But in this situation, the extra damage and splash from the Archon might be worth it. Looks like it's going to get targeted down, though, pretty quickly. So there goes the Archon. Just a few Zealots, and Favorit holding on here by the skin of his teeth. Oh man, 3 Hydras microing against 1 Zealot. The tension is real. And now 2 more Zealots. They got to back up. CadenZie seems to be really hurting. She doesn't seem to be macroing down a crazy number of Hydra right now. and is being pushed back quite a long ways, giving Favorit enough time. He's adding in some desperation cannons. He's actually being forced to add them back of his Nexus. Not the greatest position for those cannons, as it would allow CadenZie to range down the back of the Nexus so he can take a big victory. And Favorit is not even making High Templar. That can be a problem. Not even trying to make any is concerning. He's just, if he's read it right and he can produce constantly out of those gateways, and that's sufficient to push CadenZie's Hydras back, then it's okay. But if he takes a bad trade and loses too many Zealots, or CadenZie's Hydra mass gets too big, he will lose the game from there. And let's see, CadenZie running again. This is not the fight that Favorit wants to take. He's throwing away too many Zealots. It's a solid wall of Hydra. Can't get good surface area. And yeah, CadenZie's trying to set herself in position here to raise down this pylon. Finally, we have a Templar or two being produced. We're a little ways away from a storm, but one or two good storms could definitely change the tide. Still only on 4 gateways. You can see the money from Favorit is not that high, and CadenZie goes in for a snipe, being very aggressive with those cannons, and needs to pull some of these Hydra back. There's too many Zealots. This is not the fight for CadenZie. She needs to move back, wait for more Hydras. Actually, no, she's sneaking in a few drones. She's trying to get a little bit better economy with this, so she's no longer playing this 100%. I'm going to kill you. As she continues to sneak in those drones, trying to at least get on 5-hatch production, which, to be honest, is probably going to allow Favorit to stabilize, and that a bit of a mistake from CadenZie. That was her last bit of detection there that she just threw away. We'll see if that sparks a DT from Favorit. And also, how close is CadenZie to having... Okay, she has had enough of that. Is going to get some Overlord speed going. Does not force a DT, though. Does not force a DT. Major cannons being added from Favorit. Now, where this is going to be a little bit rough for Favorit, in all honesty, is he's been pinned back for a while defending. So he's going to mine out here quite soon at this base, and reasonably soon at this base, whereas CadenZie, with a frailer economy, is going to be further away from mining out and more bases to spread her drones against. So she's going to have her 3-base mining a bit longer than Favorit. So it's going to be pretty important here for Favorit to secure a 3rd base, or he's just going to be behind from timing. Oh, Storm goes down. Okay, Storm. The reactions from CadenZie were reasonable. Perhaps not amazing, but reasonable. But now, I would say at this point, Favorit has 100% stabilized. For the first point in this game, Favorit is not teetering with life and death. He is solidly alive in the game. CadenZie is taking that 4th base. And let's see how Favorit plays this. If he doesn't take a 3rd base, then Favorit is going to be just absolutely needing to win the game right now outright. We can see CadenZie, aware of this, is adding a bunch of creeps, in other words, Sunkens, and a little bit's going to come down to storm dodging and drone pulls. There's enough Zealots to be scary, but 2 Sunkens with a 3rd on the way looks like some pretty stout defense, especially since the amount of High Templar support is not exactly huge. I mean, you know, 2 storms can still be absolutely devastating, could kill all the Hydra, but if CadenZie's on top of her dodging, 2 storms from 1 High Templar shouldn't be enough to just wreck things up. And now these Hydra being forced to pull back here. The drones have not been pulled, though, so these Zealots blasting through the initial bit, and now the Storm going down. Pretty good dodge with those drones, but it looks like these Zealots are going to be taken out fairly easily. Some Scourge coming out, instantly enough, but Favorit is repulsed and only has, what, a few Dragoons and a few Templars, still working off just those 4 gateways. That's not a lot of production. And things looking pretty decent for CadenZie right now, especially with a few Muta out to snipe off some Templar. Yeah, it's starting to look like Favorit is in real trouble and in danger of going down 0-2 to CadenZie. I mean, it's not over yet, but he's very close to mining out and really has no means through which he can take a 3rd base. And if he's not at all careful, these Muta could easily, well, actually with 5 of them, I would not say that. Alright, we're running in, going for a cannon. I don't think it's worth it. There's enough Dragoons out right now that she needs to make like 8, 9. Yeah, there we go. We're getting a little bit more reasonable numbers, and then these Templar need to be repositioned. They are very vulnerable right now, even if there are a shat ton of cannons hanging out around that Nexus. And they'll be even more vulnerable once Favorit starts to move it. Oh man, that's... Whoa. Whoa, what? That's so risky. That's so risky. Like, 6 goons, this is just ridiculously snipeable right now. I'm really surprised Favorit is doing this, knowing there's Muta. I mean, CadenZie's in the wrong position right now. She doesn't know about this, and I think he wants to try to secure a 3rd base. Just gonna harass some drones, forcing the storm out, but oh man, this stuff is so... Is she gonna see it? No. She's gonna kind of see it. Yeah, trying to throw down some storms, but that's what I was talking about. Those Templar are just getting eaten up, just absolutely devoured. That storm was actually pretty decent. Good defensive storms, but not good enough, and easily sacrifices his Templar for not a whole lot of gain. I understand he wanted to bring units over here, but there's just no safe way to get them out. And over there, surprisingly not making any Corsairs either. A few Corsairs could be nice in this situation, but obviously Favorit disagrees with me, and we can see CadenZie is just macroing up now. And with 4 bases running, CadenZie's going to have no sign of slowing down, and Favorit's going to basically be mining 1 base for a little while, which is going to be a rough point in the game for him. He really needs an attack to go his way right now, but this is a pure Dragoon force against pretty solid walls and Lurker Ling. I don't think it can really break in here. The storm support is very minimal. I think there's just 2 High Templar, just 2 storms in fact between them. The Dragoons can probably poke at the wall and be annoying, but I don't think they can really get anything done, especially with the Muta coming in here to snipe off some Templar. We'll see our Zealots being macroed behind. No macro is being done behind this because the economy is already starting to weaken. Now, I don't know about sending these Lings in such small numbers, but she's basically trying to bait out the storms and getting a few hits on Dragoons. But there's enough Dragoons here that these non-Hivelings are not really being terribly effective, but as they come in higher numbers, it'll be more of an issue. And there we go. One of the Templars goes down. The second one is almost down, but it doesn't have a storm, so it's not really there. And look at the flood of Hydra Ling. That is definitely going to force those Dragoons back, and we will see, yeah, it's going to force Favorit back at this point. And trying to snipe that last High Templar, can't quite get it. Dragoon's going up onto the high ground, but lots of Hydra here to fight. Bring them forward. There we go. Finally picks off that Templar, and basically has pushed this force back. But look at this. We have a nice little Zealot drop, or it's got to be a drop. I don't know where the shuttle went. Into the main, trying to get the hatchery. It's... oh, might still get it. Might still get a good choice in this case to turn and fight the Lings. Can CadenZie buy enough time to save her 4th base hatchery? A lot of kills on this. Notice she lost all the drones during that fight. So that was a good little win from Favorit to keep him in this game just a bit. He needed that, but now Lings streamed across over to this base. That's just probes. Are there Zealots in? Yeah, there are Zealots kind of nearby. Lings running in. They're going to get the cannons. They will not get the Nexus, though, that's for sure. There are enough units and other defensive structures nearby that it's just not going to happen. Hive on the way for CadenZie. More Lings being streamed in, but there's too much focus here from Favorit at this base. These Lings will not be able to get anything done. She's going to have to turn and run away. Probably should go back to... well, she can't go back to mining that base because she lost those drones. That was pretty big for Favorit. There's the shuttle that did it. And now trying to find some snipes on the Templar. Gets rid of one, gets rid of... ooh, nice way of getting his Templar out of that storm. Only losing one, and there's just one random Lurker here. There's Knob, so that'll go down pretty soon. And... oh, wait, no, that was just a Ling attack upgrade. I thought that was Adrenal. I was like, ah, when Adrenal gets done, things get a little bit scary for Zerg. A little bit scurry. Or for Protoss, right? Things get really nice for Zerg. Adrenal is ridiculous. So CadenZie looks like she's just trying to run Lings all around the place here. Not really getting a whole lot done at this point. Maybe trying to find some Templar that she can get at. Will indeed get a single Templar there. And that's so annoying. So easy for Lings to just run in and pick off some stuff. And now the army of Favorit gathered up over here. Looks like right now he just wants to defend his 3rd base. But he is about to be mining off 1 base, whereas CadenZie is going to be actively mining from 4 if she ever drones. That is a lot of hatcheries for not a whole lot of drones, to be perfectly honest. And these Lings continue to be streamed in, but realistically, they're not doing much damage. I mean, getting the High Templar when they do that is good, but outside of the occasional High Templar pickoff, she's largely just throwing units at Favorit. And now Favorit actually has a pretty decent-sized army, and we have another drop coming in here, but it looks like CadenZie's actually somewhat on top of this. 1 High Templar down, 2 High Templar down. Shuttle's gone. Oh, she's going to lose the hatch back here. That's annoying. The 2 High Templar, though, looks like they're not going to do a whole lot. I don't think she can save the hatch. The Zealot should be able to target down. Oh, it's going to be really close. Down. By the skin of its teeth. Gets the hatchery. So that's a little bit annoying for CadenZie for sure, although she does still have a lot of production here. And enough mineral patches, enough drones. I don't think she's actually hugely missing out. I mean, yeah, it's going to cost her 300 minerals, but it's not as bad as if she'd already mined out these bases and now had to concentrate all her drones down here. Still, not bad for Favorite. Oh, I did lose a shuttle and some Templar and some other stuff along with it. And now is Favorite feeling inspired enough to move across the map, or how does he want to play this? A few lurkers getting caught out here for CadenZie. Definitely not ideal. Those are expensive units. You know, throwing a few lings away, a lot of times you can get away with it. But you start to throw away your lurkers, and you don't necessarily want to do that. Not so good. Not so good. Well, we got 1-1 upgrades, and Favorite's probably going to be better at that. Yeah, he's at 3-0, so that's a little rough on the upgrades for CadenZie. And I don't know about this attack from Favorite. These Zealots are awfully straight into the mix. This is kind of a 1A, 2A, 3A Protoss attack, which never goes well for trying to break in. Throwing down some storms on these backlings, but the Zealots almost immediately destroyed, and actually is Favorite going to lose his whole army. There's a few storms left in. Might be enough to keep him alive, since CadenZie doesn't have a ton of units out on the map right now. But let's face it, Favorite just threw all that away to kill like 2 lurkers and a group of lings. That was a sloppy attack. You just cannot have those Zealots heavily in the fight when there's that many lurkers out. You've got to storm first, weaken them, soften them up, and only send the Zealots in when you've got a lurker or 2 left, or ideally you've killed all the lurkers. But it has kind of worked for him in the sense that it has gotten CadenZie off of his back enough that he was able to get a 3rd base up, or 4th base up, and now CadenZie's going to go ahead and pressure that base. Got some lings running in here. Can she get some Templar? Yes, she can. Yes, she can. She get a 3rd one. Archon's in there. No, can't get a 3rd one. Tries valiantly, but not to be. And finally has that 4th base now up and macroing. A few units sitting around. Looks like a few hatcheries that still need to get rallied. But CadenZie now has a strong economy. Favorite has a terrible economy, but it's about to be okay off of 2 bases, which won't be the end of the world as CadenZie's going to start mining these out. Still hard to tell at this point who's actually going to take this game. Could definitely go either way. I feel like right now CadenZie's in an okay position, but if she doesn't secure another base fairly soon or manage to wipe out one of Favorite's, then she's going to start to fall into a less ideal space because she's mining out both of these bases, and that's going to put her 2 base against 2 base. In fact, her base here is running out pretty well. So she's going to be losing 3 bases here reasonably soon, and 2 bases very, very soon. So she needs to find a way to take advantage of this window here and get something done where she has pretty solid production compared to what Favorite does. Unfortunately, Favorite has this intimidating army on the map, and CadenZie doesn't... Well, she's just starting to get that. So there, with that hive composition coming in, she'll be able to get a little bit more done. She'll have a few more options working on... Well, there's a attack upgrade, but is there a carapace upgrade? We got 2 carapace. We really need that 3rd carapace, though. Favorite checking up there. No Zerg base. She's just working off... Okay, there we go. We got the 3rd carapace started. That's a big upgrade. When that finishes, then her whole army will be that much more effective. Alright, so we're going to snipe down whatever building that was in front. I'm not sure if that was a hatch or an evo chamber or a hydrogen or what. But sending some lings up against these Dragoons is going to force them back. Decent storm down on the front. And this lurker comes forward just running into its death. But still a pretty solid wall of defense at the top. In the meanwhile, though, we have lings and other things here underneath Swarm, which is pretty annoying. Lurkers being forced to burrow outside of that, but it looks like Favorite is trying to smash his way through. This doesn't usually work, especially with reinforcements. He is getting some good storms down on the lurkers, though. And will CadenZie have a big stream of reinforcements coming out here? The final lurker has been taken down. Needs some Hydra, needs some lings. That's a lot of Archons, though, forcing a drone run from CadenZie. But at the same time, the 3rd base under attack, but CadenZie has lost her own base. She absolutely needs to kill this base over here now. It looks like that lurker at the top of the ramp is going to scare Favorite away, but can Favorite defend this base? If he can defend this base, he's going to be in an absolutely wonderful position. But yeah, it looks like he can, actually. Oh, there's more Defilers coming. Trying to siege her way forward. Where's the next swarm? Needs another one on top of the Nexus. Maybe get some lings on top of that. Click the Nexus. We got a whole bunch of Overlords coming in here, but there's no drop with them, and there's not that many units. So really just another storm or storm or 2 is all that's needed, and this can be cleared up. Lurker comes in, a few Zealots coming in, trying to fight underneath the Swarm. Always difficult to do, but those Zealots are going to be worth their weight in gold. In this particular case, Lurker count that not that high and not supported by other units. So it looks like Favorit does hold on, and now CadenZie trying to apply a little bit of pressure to this base, but it's just a few lings with no Defiler, and that's obviously going to be taken care of quite easily. And now CadenZie mined out over here. She does have this base, though, that she has taken in the meantime, and not really finding any good opportunities for her Zerglings. But now the position is pretty comfortable for Favorit. He's got his 2 bases. CadenZie's mining just 1 base right now. Starting to get to 2 base mining, but compared to Favorit, who's comfortably, happily mining off 2 bases. Very low econ situation, which is also good for Protoss, especially in late game, where you start to get a bunch of cannons, a bunch of High Templar. Those low econ late game situations are a very strong position for Protoss to play in. And I think Favorit is much happier to be playing this way than he is to be playing, you know, 5 base to 5 base or whatever, 4 base to 5 base, etc. Whereas Zerg can just make a billion units and drop everywhere and swarms and whatever. There's only 1 or 2 points right now that Favorit needs to defend. Adding a few more cannons at the ramp. I'd like to see still a few more Templar up here would be good. Maybe some Reavers getting into the mix here at some point. Well, we got Reavers over at this base. The other thing Favorit has going for him is that these bases are nice kind of islandy ramped bases, which are just kind of harder to break. Less space. Oh, nice little ling run in here. Gonna pick off like a green or 2 maybe. It's one of those things that lings are great that way. They just gradually whittle stuff down, and they're just generally efficient to send in small groups. And CadenZie now taking a few more bases. Honestly, if she secures this base, and especially if she secures this base, you know, Favorit can't just like sit back and do nothing. So I kind of like that CadenZie is doing this, because she's basically saying, okay, I realize that Favorit has these 2 bases here secured, and I don't have that much. And if I just sit back and take bases, then I'm going to force him to move, and maybe that'll give me some sort of opportunity. Like, it'd be great to force this, and then perhaps be willing to sack this base to then drop this base or this base and take it out. But I don't know if she has enough units to get that done. She's pretty low in supply. Nice plague being hit on the Protoss army. Could use 1 or 2 more to soften up all of the Zealots. Look at that composition. There's another nice plague. So we are getting the Zealots very softened up, but a lot of Archons now in that nice late game Protoss composition. And another base being taken over here. CadenZie, if she runs in Ling and soon... No, too late. That Ling can't get anything done at this point. And here come a few more Zerglings. Is there really an opportunity to get much done? No, that's a lot of Archons. That's a lot of Archons. CadenZie is going to secure... actually, I don't know if he is. Zealot's going rogue, but Favorit's going to gather up. Favorit needs to find this base. It looks like these lurkers are going to have time to finish, which will 100% secure that base for CadenZie. Probe transfer over here towards this base. CadenZie, no ups on her Hydras, but does have 3-3 on the Lings, so that's nice. Archon's no longer one-shotting those Zerglings, making them quite a bit stronger. And CadenZie again sending in a few Lings against this Protoss force and a small little Ling task force towards this base, but there's too many cannons for this to be successful. Starting to drop some storms here on the lurkers on the ramp, but oh man, ramp bases are just so hard to break. So hard to break. A few Lings running in, not even going to get a cannon though, just not enough. Good pro pull reaction though from Favorit, not knowing exactly what CadenZie had sent over. And now going to clean up a few Hydra with these Archon. CadenZie has retaken this base and is dropping quite a lot of Sunkens here to try and secure that. And at the same time, taking another base over here on the bottom side of the map. And that is going to force Favorit's hand. He can't just let CadenZie expand her way right back into the game and get on a billion bases. CadenZie sitting over 4 or 5 Hydras plus a lurker, but it's not really enough. Honestly, didn't need to send his whole army for that, but gonna catch a few of those. Oh, actually, we've got a little bit of a drop coming. Unfortunately for CadenZie, maybe this was spotted. With a whole army coming over, this drop is gonna amount to basically nothing, especially with no Defiler to support it. So, Favorit on top of that, cleaning it up. And what do we have here? We have a shuttle flying in. Is it tagged with a Scourge? No, it's not. Oh yeah, it is tagged with Scourge. So CadenZie aware of that. Let's see how Favorit controls. Getting off a shot on the drones. More Scourge coming in. Looking for places to drop. Just going to be forced to fly out. But this Reaver's just going to hang out here and shoot Scarabs at drones. 4 or 5 kills on that bad boy. And oh no! How close close is that Reaver to death? Oh, the drone with the Reaver assassination attempt. Can't quite get it. Oh, snap. So dangerous. The Reaver's... Where the Reaver go? Did he die? Oh, no, it's down here. Okay, so we're gonna Nidus and kill the Reaver in the invisible corner of the map. But CadenZie has a base down here. Still hugely down in supply, though. Still doesn't seem to have the unit composition or unit number to have a good answer towards this Protoss army in the center of the map. And the defense from Favorit has been strong enough that peripheral attempts to go around it have not worked for CadenZie. And still a decent number of minerals left at both these bases. And this one's getting pretty close to running out. But it looks like Favorit setting up to take another base, positioning his army nicely. Doing a very nice job of playing this late game stuff. And the Defilers is running around. Well, it's a plague that looks cool, but that plague doesn't do a whole lot. Plaguing Archons is, you know, 10 HP. Big whoop. Oh, it looks like he wants to lay siege to CadenZie's main? Alright, we got Lurkers running in. Are there needs to be swarms, alright, but those Reavers are down there to drop some Scarabs and a few Zealots to shred the initial front Lurkers. Looks like that's going to work out okay. Coming in for the shuttle, gets one Reaver down on the ground, but it is not sniped off, and it looks like Favorit wants to just manhandle his way in here. All the Lurkers are down for the moment. Knight's Canal needs to go down, and then it looks like CadenZie's main is going to be broken, and she's going to lose all of her tech. There's nothing going on anywhere else. This is basically it as far as action on the map right now. A few Hydra being slipped through here. Are there storms on these Templar? I don't know. Yeah, there we go. Storming the Knight's Canal. Nidus goes down. Storms on those Defilers. A few Lurkers coming in, being brought from this top base, and it is down to just Archons, so this might eventually get cleaned up, but Archons by themselves can fight pretty well, in all honesty. A little bit slow here from Favorit, not expanding to this 1130 position while getting attacked. And we have a Corsair fleet that has been produced in secret over here, and so now we're going to have Overlord assassination from CadenZie at the same time, and into the main here goes Favorit, going to take out all of the tech now, and these Corsairs are just slaughtering Overlords. There are a few Hydra out. CadenZie is about to be supply blocked, and that might be enough to get it done. I mean, she's just lost all of her tech. She's now, well, she's still mining decently. Corsairs are sort of going all over the place, willy-nilly. Not being super effective. Not being super ineffective. A few Lings being sent here. Not enough to overcome 3 cannons, though. Can she clean up these Archons? I don't know. Well, if there's no observer, she can. But she has not been able to save her Hive or her Defiler Mound. The lack of observer is definitely a problem. Looks like the Hydra Den's going to go down as well. Going to lose the Spire. Losing some Overlords. Just holding on narrowly to a few bases. This base is actually incredibly vulnerable. Could easily be killed off. See Favorit's busy remacroing an army. As Archon's just chilling up here at the top. Oh, finish off the spawning pool. There's no observer though, as far as I know, so... Alright. Alright, uses the D-Web to get the rogue Archons free. And these Corsairs still trying to hunt down Overlords. But then he says GG, realizing she's pretty much out of options, can't make anything. And there we go. Yeah, I have to give PureToss some credit. He did figure out at like the 25-30 minute mark that this was indeed a replay. And sure, I could make a Bisu versus Jaedong replay, but that's not what the point of this cast is. You know, there's lots of those out there. The point is we're casting foreign Brood War games, not Korean Brood War games. And to be honest, I think for those kind of replays, do you even really need a caster to enjoy them? Nah, probably not. You can probably get more out of them watching them yourself than you can watching me talk shit. Alright, so we'll be going into Game 3, tied 1-1 on Crown and Scepter. And that was a pretty well-played game by Favorit. I felt like CadenZie really had a chance to win there early on, and then it seemed like she was going to be ahead, but that Zealot drop from Favorit at the 4th base initially, that was a big deal. the fact that he, you know, CadenZie had 3-4 bases fully mining, but then that Zealot drop came in and, you know, killed, because she wasn't able to pay attention, it killed 15-16 drones, and it set her economy back, and that really changed everything. She was on the verge of that, you know, exploding point, where Zerg just has their saturated 4 bases, throws up 8, 9, 10 hatches, but that just pulled that right back, kept him alive. So, game 3 between CadenZie and Favorit, spawning in the bottom left-hand position as the purple Protoss, we have Favorit. And in the bottom right-hand position as the teal Zerg, we have CadenZie. That was a little bit interesting. I guess it was air bubbles, but I picked up my glass of water. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it was like starting to bubble at the sides. And I was like, it's hot in my room, but it's not hot enough for water to boil. I hope. I think I'd be looking a little more red in the face if that was the case. Although with this light in my face, I have no idea. I might look red in the face anyway, or I might just look like I have this huge bright spot just right there, right there. Overlord's gonna go incorrectly for CadenZie. Oh, does CadenZie know the map, or is this one where both naturals are close? Normally you'd send Overlord to the close natural, but I don't know. Maybe this is also a close natural. We'll just have to wait an age and a half, and then we'll discover the answer to that question. So, probe is not going to find anything. And will we have another, what do you call it, gate first? Favorit is opted for gate first in the first 2 games. Oh, it's going to be Nexus first, I think. Or just a later forge. I don't know. Could be either. If it's Nexus first, it might be a little rough, to be perfectly honest. No, I was going to make a forge. Just making it 11. You can do that. You don't have to send out a probe super early and cut production. It's fast enough for all but ridiculous pool cheeses, which are not that great in CVP, in all honesty. Oh, dude, that fan is loud. Here, I'll show you what it sounds like with that fan. See, that's fan on even setting 1, and this mic is sensitive enough that it really picks it up. Like, for you guys, that's got to be super loud. It's too much white noise. I'm now very cool and very comfortable, because it puts out a shit ton of air, but it's loud enough that, you know, it's not comfortable. It's a godsend, though. Who turned on the lawnmower? Yeah, valid question. It's a godsend, though, because, especially for biking, I have 2 of those, and I just put them 1 on each side and just blast air, and I can ride inside the house okay on days where it's a billion degrees outside if I need to go hard. I came really close to getting heat exhaustion last year. I was riding hard on like a 100-degree day uphill, doing these long repeats, and it was just, it got bad. You know, I was completely dried up. I was almost to the point where I wasn't sweating. Wasn't to the point where I was feeling cold, but, you know, I was starting to get kind of dizzy and out of it, and, you know, just feeling horrible. I made it home, but it was not a fun experience, and I don't want to be there again. So I usually try not to kill myself on super hot days. I'll just ride inside if I have to. Nice lings so far from CadenZie. Denying the probe, not letting into the base. Speaking of which, she's doing a sneaky little build. Very sneaky little build. We'll see if Favorit can get a read. Oh, actually, never mind. Never mind. What am I talking about? I didn't see this hatchery. It was just blending in with everything. Or at least that's my excuse. Probably I just didn't see it. But it's more fun to make an excuse, right? So it just looks like a normal layer so far. Thought she was doing like 2 hatch meter or something that was going to be really weird. Stargate on the way for Favorit, who did not open gate first. First Zealot is out. CadenZie should see that moving. Still chasing around that probe, and possibly going to use that Zealot to pressure and try to get the probe in. Oh, the probe didn't get... How did that not get surrounded? What? That was a very evasive probe. And Zealot is actually just going to go straight to the third base, which will be annoying. It'll force a drone pull until some Lings can get over and defend against that. Now, there'll only be a drone or two here, but they're going to have to run away. Not enough numbers that she can fight the Zealot with. Oh, there goes the probe. All right, so she has made the Lings. And let's see. All right, good reaction from CadenZie. It's not a huge deal. We're only running 2 drones. It's not like there were like 8 drones mining that she has to run away. But, you know, just enough to slow you down a bit. Cannon coming up. Interestingly enough, he was able... Oh, no, he made 1 cannon. I was like, did he really try to get away with no cannons? And get away with no cannons? Alright, Zealot should probably have tried to fight the Lings, but I guess he's just going to let it die attacking the hatchery. 1 hit away. Alright. Drones can be retransferred or perhaps not retransferred, whatever. Lair's done. Spire on the way. A few Lings coming over here. And... Corsair, what are we looking at build-wise? We got anything? We got +1 going. Killing off the close Overlord, feeling pretty confident he knows what's going on. That standard play doesn't need to send that first Corsair to Zerg's base to scout. It's dead. Overlord deaths are so dramatic. You'd think for like basically what's a balloon, like a flesh balloon, it's amazing to what degree it explodes. I guess it's got like hydrogen in it, and when it like finally has a weak point, it just... something like that. And will she get... Oh, Spire's kind of late. Shouldn't be able to get 2 Overlord kills, so this is not an ideal start for CadenZie. CadenZie's prepared for this, though. She has definitely overmade Overlords, so she's not going to run into any major supply blocking issues. Although she will potentially... No, she shouldn't lose another Overlord. Favorit's going to have to run back home, but does lose 2. Whoa, oh, I got tagged on the probe. I hate when that happens. Is she gonna run in? No, definitely can't run in. What? What are you doing, CadenZie? That's like a wall of 4 Zealots. That was... What? Alright, CadenZie had a bad moment there. That was definitely unnecessary. Sending out a few Scourge now, and we have, what, 4 Zealots coming across the map. +1 is getting close-ish. This is actually going to turn into +1 timing. Wait, what? What? Wait. No? What? There's no... That's interesting. Alright. So he's getting +1, but he either totally fucked up and didn't get legs, or I'm missing something here. But still, this is 4 Zealots walking in and attacking a Sunken Colony, which will definitely kill the 1, but with reinforcing Lings, it's going to get cleaned up okay. And without Link speed, you can't really do anything annoying with these, or without leg speed, you can't really do anything annoying with these Zealots, so they're just going to die. So, Favorit gets some nice Link kills, and then doesn't really get anything else out of that. Sees the meta, going to make a few more Corsairs. It's not a bad way to play. You can make 2 or 3 Corsairs early on in the game, and then you can pretty much hold off Muta and then respond with more Corsairs if needed. It's like not a bad way to play if you're a little bit newer and you don't really want to commit to 6, 7, 8 Corsairs because your multitask and stuff like that isn't really up to that level. Oh no, okay. Sacks a Corsair. Probably not the best attack. Why does this map basically feel... This map is basically Fighting Spirit. What? Am I missing something? This is literally like Fighting Spirit. How is this any different? At this point, I don't understand. Is the third base structure somehow different? Where? Oh, careful! These Scourge just kind of stopped, though. It looked like they were going to just run in with the Muta and cause trouble. Alright, trying to bait the Scourge in. Nice. Swinging back. Back and forth, dancing. I like these little dances. It's like very oddly intimate. Just switching back and forth. No, but this is like super Fighting Spirity. Like the position of the naturals are in the same place. The main feels the same. The cliff behind them is the same. You've got similar bridge structure. You've got island third base with double ramps. Like this is... Center looks... You know, it's very, very Fighting... Oh my god, this is a bad place for these Corsairs to be. Alright, somehow the Corsairs kind of get away. That Archon's worth its weight in gold. Got to be much more careful with how she's flying that in. How interesting. How interesting. If CadenZie doesn't see that. She could be in a very sad spot. Getting some lurker upgrades, missile attack, and moving towards Hive, plus a 4th base, so just looking to play macro. Meanwhile, Favorit just hanging back, defending. Actually, he's playing this kind of aggressively defensively. Throws away a Corsair, though, and make that 2 Corsairs. That was sloppy. Someone said the sender is the same. Yeah, it's like, I think it might even be literally the exact same. No, I mean, I get that there's only so many ways to place expos, but like the shape of the natural with the cliffs coming out, it's exactly the same here with just a little bit of water. It's slightly wider than Fighting Spirit, but you know, there's like the same hexes just behind the minerals. Gas is down, you know, pass. It's really, really like Fighting Spirit-esque. You know, I mean, whoever made this map, I like, you basically couldn't convince me that they weren't trying to make a... Maybe there's certain tweaks they've made, because it clearly is different in some ways, but it's basically trying to remake Fighting Spirit to do something different. I don't know the creator of the map and what his goal was here, or her goal, but this is very clearly based off Fighting Spirit. Alright, so he really wants to bait these Muta. This is pretty much all we've been watching for the last like 4 minutes. No one's built up enough of an army yet to want to move out, and CadenZie's just setting up a macro. Well, finally he gets the fight he wants, and that's unfortunate for CadenZie. So, Favorit's persistence pays off. Scares off the Muta's going to try to get an Overlord kill or 2 or 3 while he does that. And meanwhile, CadenZie is just getting some defense with lurkers, slings, etc. Finishing off those Muta. Actually, there's a few Hydra. I was like, there better be some Hydra, or Overlords are going to die in masse. Ooh, do we have drop? I don't think so, but that's interesting. But it's been spotted, so whatever. And a little bit of a sneak. A little bit of a sneak. Yeah, that was a bit anticlimactic, though. Maybe that's what explains it, though. He kept trying to chase with the Corsair to bring him over into Archon range. In the end, though, it didn't even matter, to quote Linkin Park. So we're getting the Spore Colony and Hatchery Explosion. So CadenZie's economy definitely coming online. Favorit grabbing that 3rd base, and we're having a bit of an engagement here at the front. Looks like she's trying to block Favorit in, and is going to be successful because the obs are nowhere in sight for the moment. Now, this is not a particularly scary contain at this moment in time. It's just not beefy enough. But if Favorit isn't careful, he's pretty contained in here. And if CadenZie can get a round or 2 of production in, this could actually prove to be a big mistake from Favorit that he allowed this to happen. Because now there might just be enough units that this can start to stabilize. Remember that CadenZie is on Hive right now. Now, full Hive hasn't kicked in, but it's moments away. Now, if he can get out here and get on the map, then it's not a big deal. He has killed off a few of those lurkers, and maybe he will break out, but that was really close to being a very, very bad situation. Because, I mean, you know, getting contained is rough on their tech, but if you get Hive contained, and you're truly contained in your natural, I mean, you might as well forget about it. Especially against the Zerg with 4 bases and full Hive tech, like, you're not getting out. There's no option. I mean, fortunately, there's this base, but this base isn't even online yet. And CadenZie's got a full economy. I mean, it's not looking good for Favorit. And despite killing those Muta, he just, I don't know, he's kind of let CadenZie just boom unpressed. Still Sloters, though. Where is the Hydra den? They are Sloters, right? I think they're Sloters. Oh, we Maelstrom a single lurker. At least we got a Maelstrom now. That sound is very satisfying. Oh, she wants the Dark Archon. Oh, well, alright. Does it save the Dark Archon? Yeah, I guess it does in the end. And those lings. And this lurker's... Oh, was it Maelstrom? I don't know. I guess it was. I think these are slow hiders, though. Yeah, they're Sloters. She needs to get speed. Wait, are they slow? I feel like they're slow. Now I'm psyching myself out. Alright, here comes some lings attacking this base. Can they get through the cannons? I think the probe drills are pretty good here by Favorit. Yeah, not going to be enough lings. A little clash of the army with the Protoss drill. scare that away, and Favorit's going to hold on to his top base. But CadenZie, remember, still sitting quite nice on that 4 base Defiler with Consume coming out. Gonna have the first Kara upgrade. Protoss pretty ahead in upgrades, so that part's nice for Favorit. It'll be a while before CadenZie gets square and makes even on that Carapace upgrade. And what is this? A small little Zerg attack trying to get past a cannon or two. Actually, it looks like she is going to kill these cannons, which is a little annoying, but not a big deal. And there's more things back here. Never mind. So that gets cleaned up pretty easily. But remember, this is still annoying Hive Zerg crap, so very efficient, especially in small groups, and especially against Dragoons. Defiler coming over, we can see a Plague. No, we have Plague yet. We're getting Plague, though. Such an opportunity for a beefy Plague just right in there. And we have another group of Lings running in, and this time it looks like it's the Fatal Blow. Well, the Probe Drills might be enough to stop this from being the Fatal Blow. Had there been just a few more, but now it looks like Favorit wants to commit to attacking over here, and that leaves this base completely vulnerable. If there are 4 or 5 Hydra or so that come with this, to just add a little ranging ability on those cannons, this base will be lost, and Favorit is basically just holding on to it by cannons right now, and CadenZie's going to run in with the Lings, going for the surround on the cannons, and Favorit was not ready for it, but there are still 3 cannons there. That might be enough. A few more Lings arriving. Oh, with a Lurker, that is going to shut down the base, and the cannon is dead as well. So that is it for the base, and Favorit needs to kill CadenZie right now. He is mined out. This is his last army. He has perhaps 30 seconds in which he can try to kill her. There aren't that many Lurkers there, so that is the one hope for him. And here we go. He's just going to run in. He's able to do that. I think there's only 1 Lurker that I see, maybe 2. He's getting some good storms on those, and he's just going to try to bust down the front door and take the win outright by muscle. And if he muscles down CadenZie, it might work. But SimCity is so strong. He's got to stop with the goons. He's got to range down the hatchery. That's allowing more Lurkers to finish. All she needs to do is get a Defiler over here and swarm. It's down to just Dragoons at this point, and Hive will hold that pretty easily. And it looks like CadenZie comfortably has this game and will be going up 2-1 over Favorit. There's just no recourse for this over here. And there it is, GG. CadenZie outmaneuvers Favorit in that game to take a 2-1 advantage. CadenZie 2, Favorit 1. And now we'll be back on Clayfield. Clayfields. Bum, 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 bum. Ah! Alright, game 4, Clayfield. Will it be decisive? Can CadenZie close out her series leading 2-1? Or will Favorit square it up and take it to game 5? Spawning in the bottom left-hand position as the yellow Zerg, we have CadenZie. And in the bottom right-hand position as the purple Protoss, we have Favorit. So far, it has been a bit of a slugfest between these 2 players, and we've already seen one 5-game series today between our first 2 players, Oya and Radley. And Overlord heading out for a bit of scouting intel, trying to figure out what's going on, but again, is going to scout incorrectly. So that Overlord will never see a Protoss base in its life, unless it lives a really long time and CadenZie grabs it and sends it back. But usually Overlords like that just get picked off and die a sad death. Pylon at natural. Man, I was hoping out of a best of 5 we'd see at least one game where someone would do something one basey. But looks like that's not to be. CadenZie saving up. Got 200 minerals, pool, nope, gonna go ahead and expand. I still want to know what these lurker eggs are for. Is it just to allow the ramp to be blocked easier? Or what are they, what's the logic behind them? To make a tighter ramp that you can then kill to make a wider ramp? Like, it doesn't crazy tighten the ramp, but there we go, hatch goes down. Huh? Was that a hatch on 11 for CadenZie? I think it was. She's only got 10 supply right now, and she hasn't made anything else. So CadenZie with an 11 hatch. Don't know anything about 11 hatch. 10 pool, I guess. Alright, we'll see where this goes. I don't know this. I don't know what the advantages, disadvantages, and hopes and dreams of this build lie. Forge up for CadenZie. Or, whoa. Whoa. Let's try that again. Forge up for Favorit. I said I like this. I like this. This little noob help. Here, put me here. You can see the tiling is different there. To help you place your well, what's the word? The all-encompassing word for gathering building. There's a word for it. I can't think of it. Fuck. Like, obviously not hatchery, but wait, town hall. Town hall. We got there. We got there. Probe doing a little bit of harass. CadenZie appears to be handling that just fine, and she's going to make at least 2 lings. Make that 2 lings, 2 pairs of lings, perhaps more accurately stated. And meanwhile, just standard forge expand here for Favorit. Oh, a little sloppy from Favorit, loses the probe. Probably needs to send another one out, or he's feeling really ballsy, or really confident that he knows exactly what CadenZie is doing. And we got 4 lings headed across the map. We'll have that 1 cannon out. Should be pretty safe from 4. 4 lings. Gonna have a hard time running through the wall and killing the cannon. Nope. Maynard of probes ever so fractionally early. Should be watching that, and bam, there we go. Now the only way she could do this, if she sent the Overlord first and let the Overlord take the first hit, she maybe could have done it and gone for that cannon because the probes were pretty out of position, but still the things would have probably died. Okay, CadenZie, pay attention. Okay, so we've lost 2 lings. Zealot being very effective initially. And in the meantime, CadenZie is just grabbing some gas. Looks like she did 3 hatch before gas. So not the super fast Scourge, which will ensure that if Favorit plays Corsair, he can get at least 1, if not 2 Overlord kills. Cybernetics Core. And CadenZie is making enough lings to do something. Oh, that's what happened. Okay. Wait. So she's not, never mind, she's not getting lair at all. She's going to make lings and then go for Hydra Bust. Alright, so we've got a surround on the cannon. Looks like the cannon will not go down. So the cannon holds. We've got 2 slots seeking across the map, though. We can pay attention to those bad boys. And all the probes are being forced to pull for Favorit, and this is actually going to be a really useful set of 2 slots, particularly if they make it into the base and see that these dudes are coming out. So this could be good for Favorit, as he needs to not die, because if he dies, he loses the series. And it looks like, yeah, CadenZie's pulled back these lings, but these slots are... Oh, are they going to see the Hydra? Yeah, they are. There, you can definitely see it now. So this should spark cannons on the regular here from Favorit, I'm assuming. Trying to get a drone. Oh, he gets a drone. Gets a drone. Which hurts CadenZie's fledgling Hydra Bust economy. And there we go, cannons. I'm surprised he didn't add them faster. No, I think he's going to be fine, but my reaction to Hydra Bust, oh shit, add cannons. Don't take too long or you die. And literally sometimes seconds is the difference. Although CadenZie is maybe just going to fake the bust. She is getting a 4th hatchery. And she will be able to deny vision and scouting with that. Interesting choice of Favorit to send these zealots out. I guess he wants to buy time for his cannons. CadenZie does not really want to let him see that hatchery, so we'll see if she can micro her lings effectively and block this vision. Oh, it's going to be close. No, the zealot's going to see it, so that is really nice for Favorit. It'll prevent him from over-making cannons, as he'll realize that this is not committed. He's going to see the drone here and realize this is not a super committed bust. That's interesting. I mean, he sees that she paused Hydra production, so I'm really surprised that he's going to opt to make that many cannons. I mean, that's a full 6 cannons. I really don't feel like that's necessary. I realize he only has 1 gateway right now, which I guess is part of the rationale. Actually, no, he's got 3. Yeah, that's way overkill. Favorit, that's overkill. Definitely should have canceled at least 2 of those, if not 3. And now CadenZie just going to drone up hardcore, having forced Favorit to make a boatload of cannons. Trying to pick off another zealot, and maybe that was part of it too. Favorit did send out a lot of zealots that were quite easily surrounded and killed for minimal gain. So perhaps feeling he just didn't have the zealots at home to defend if CadenZie just started making Hydra anyways. And here comes the drone to make a 4th base for CadenZie, so she's going to go full on macro, it looks like. Constantly droning up. Whoa, the zooms. And getting a Spire now, as well as an Evo Chamber, with no upgrades yet. And fighting a little bit at the front unnecessarily, and now a few Zealots getting ready to move out for Favorit. Where is the status of his leg speed? About halfway, so this is going to basically be like a leg timing type of thing. And can CadenZie hold? She needs Sunkens. Oh, this is a bit scary for CadenZie. This will not finish in time. She's going to need an amazing drone pull, and that's asking a lot because it's kind of hard to have amazing drone pulls with like 6 drones. Okay. Well, it's a little while till link speed, so maybe that gives CadenZie a chance. She needs to glitch hard. Needs to glitch. Maybe even needs to pull drones from the main to hold these guys off. We'll see. Right now, there's nothing dealing damage. Drones going down. Sunken's being targeted. At least one of the Sunkens is going to go down, and there are Zealots on top of the other Sunken. She is drilling reasonably well given the low unit count, but let's face it, the Sunkens are dead, and there are 5 now speedlots running around in CadenZie's natural. Definitely not a good situation. She's getting a decent drone drill here, though, and getting a surround on some of these Zealots and cleaning them up would be a huge boon, but let's face it, there are also Zealots here in the main attacking the drones. CadenZie trying to keep up with the micro in both locations, which is allowing these Zealots here, in this case, to be a bit more efficient than they otherwise would. This is going fairly well for Favorit. It's certainly dealing damage. It's forcing a lot of drone pulls. CadenZie is actually chasing these Zealots all the way in the corner with these drones, and will finally eliminate those Zealots. So she does hold, but certainly at least something of a cost to her. And now Favorit's macro is in full stride and sending out another wave of Zealots. And remember, he's killed off the Sunkens, so there is not really anything to defend with, although the Muta switch from CadenZie might just be what she needs. No Corsairs hanging around, and a decent number are out already, so we'll have to use them, though, to fend off these Zealots. It should be enough time to prompt, or at least Archons, if not some Corsairs here from Favorit. And more Zealots being rallied in. Nice little splitting of the Zealots. And of course, with no Sunken, no drilling, no way to stop the splitting of the Zealots. And that is going to make the Zealots going into the main very annoying. CadenZie forced to run the drones away, as the Muta are slowly picking off these Zealots. But CadenZie is getting run around. And of course, this is allowing time to make Archons. He's not going to opt for Corsair production, but we can see a few more drones have died. We can see some blood here. And obviously huge amounts of lost mining time in terms of running around drones. Beautiful splitting of the Zealots by Favorit. Because there are no other units, we can just leave the Zealots all scattered around and make the Muta chase for days. Just keep them off of his back. Not being annoying at all. Finally, CadenZie's able to clean that up. Does finally have a Sunken out, getting a second one. And she's alive, but she has suffered quite a bit in terms of her macro. And still another Zealot being hidden in the corner. Muta will finally clean that up. Unfortunately decided to attack the pool in its last second of life. And again, Favorit is going to opt for the Dark Archon option. Will we have a chance to see, will we see it? Whew. Will we see it utilized in its full glory here? Is it ready? Is it even ready with Maelstrom? No! Oh, it doesn't even have nothing to do. Alright, well, CadenZie's going to see that there is one. CadenZie, what was that? Luckily for her, those Mutas weren't super clumped, but that was a very bad initial Muta flyover. And now a big army from Favorit about to pour out here. We're going to have to kill off a few of these cannons, I think, though, to get out. Or is there a walking path here? And I'm skeptical there is. Yeah, there's not. This cannon at the very least has to die. And he's gonna pull all his Zealots back. Alright, now I can escape. That's a very tedious escape path, let's be honest. It's a very tedious escape path. The joys and challenges of Brood War pathing. It is a bit wonky, but it does make the game work pretty damn well. Holy shit, well that's probably gonna defend this. Are there any lurkers? Okay, still probably gonna defend this. But we'll see. Alright, so you just get a storm on the Hydralisk and then a lurker morph. Like I said, there's a lot of buildings in the front. Actually, there's a lot of goon muscle there. And these zealots are immediately on top of the sunken and an Archon in there. I think this might be enough to bust. CadenZie does not really have anything out in the way of units. He's been busy trying to drone and just hold on with defense, but I don't think it's sufficient right now. Huge storm on the drones. Wow. All of the economy wiped out for CadenZie at this base. And double supply right now for Favorit. And CadenZie's natural being split open. Is there an observer? That's pretty much her only hope right now. Are there any storms left over? Could storm? Yes, can definitely storm this lurker down if he notices that. There we go. And down goes the lurker, so the natural is broken for CadenZie, in addition to losing all the drones, and that's it. GG. Favorit does tie the series, and folks, we are going to a Game 5 to decide CadenZie versus Favorit. The final battle. Who will come out as Card Cup Week 3 champion? Find out on Clay Fields yet again. Lots and lots and lots of Clay Field. Huge bias towards Clayfield in this lineup. I can just smell it. It's just there. All right, who's gonna be our grand champion of mostly Clayfields? And the award of best Clayfields player will go to, I don't know, spawning in the top left-hand corner, contender number 1, the Orange Protoss, IRK Favorit. And in the bottom left-hand corner, contender number 2, the best female player in the world right now, CadenZie, as the Red Zerg. Overlord, just gonna go for a fly and go for a little vacation. Oh, wait, no, that's not out early, is it? It is out early. Wait, no, it's not. I forgot there was like a probe out, so I was like 6 probes, 7 probes. Oh, it's an early probe. No, no, you just roll. Well. We have a very, very fast pool, and unfortunately for CadenZie, it's going to get scouted first, and I don't think it's fast enough to really do anything, so this should be generally disadvantageous for CadenZie. The only good thing is that Favorit hadn't immediately sent out this probe, so the forge will be an 11 forge instead of a 10 forge. But I'm worried for CadenZie. This should be fine. Yeah, Tattoo does like those kind of builds. And Ling's on the way. Probe just being an asshole. Good thing to do with a probe when there's only 4 or 5 drones. Every drone you have to take off the minerals at that point is worth its weight in gold. And beautifully there with the next probe. Let's see how nice and crispy is cannon number 1. Looks like that cannon will easily finish in time, so this is basically thwarted already. Just needs to block slightly with probes to prevent the Lings from running right in. And then CadenZie's going to drop an expansion, but CadenZie's going to be playing this game from a very economically disadvantaged position, even if she did force a very significant probe pull here from Favorit. Perfect blocking position for these probes. Cannon surrounded, walled up. Not gonna, actually got to watch that one little hole. Oh, trying to pick off a probe. Nice control there by Favorit. Second cannon finishes, and probe should be able, at this point, to be sent back to chill. I'll try to scout. Oh, trying to bait a Ling in, but CadenZie's got him nicely on hold position. And there we go. Probe sent back to mine. Threat taken care of. Nexus should be on its way soon. drones for CadenZie. And she's going to just go ahead and switch into macro. But unfortunately is going to be forced to play this game reasonably from behind. Finally has enough money, can drop that third hatchery. Bam. And another probe sent out here for Favorit as he gets his Nexus and Gateway. Pylon gas, getting all the usual things. So we're going to switch into a relatively standard game. Doesn't really have enough drones to justify setting any of this base. Probably will just rally both hatcheries down here. And CadenZie is... Maybe she's just going to go all in. She took guys off gas, so it's going to be Ling speed and try to kill with Lings. Which is certainly dangerous for Favorit. He did lose the first game to that. So CadenZie possibly going from all in to all in. If at first you do not succeed, try again. Now, can she keep the probe out? She definitely wants to. And are we going to start spamming Lings behind this? I suspect the answer is yes. Yes. Alright, so does Favorit know there is danger on the edge of town? He's not suspicious. He's getting suspicious. Not yet. Not yet. Oh, he sees speed. Does that concern him at this point? Ah, CadenZie's nicely sending these Lings around. That's smart. And I like this. I like this. So right now, Favorit has no idea. This is kind of dangerous for Favorit. I'm not gonna lie. This is kind of dangerous. She's successfully gotten a group of Lings now with oh no! Oh no! Oh, that's not good for Favorit. Holy shit. Although CadenZie's Lings are really fucking up there really bad. Oh man. That was a disaster. Like CadenZie had it, but just like Red Warrior in that one game, those Lings were not efficient at all. So that went super well for Favorit. Somehow 12 Lings failed to kill 2 cannons with no defense and no probes. So an awful initial start, and CadenZie's surprise that probably would have carried her to the game. Now we'll go into a serious defense for Favorit. If we can get these 3 cannons up, he should hold pretty comfortably. 3 is a pretty golden number. You can hold off most Ling all-ins with 3 and a wall, but he's already got a solid wall, so there's not a lot CadenZie can do. She doesn't have the numbers to just slam at the gateways yet and throw Lings at it. Is she going to transition out of this? Maybe she is at this point, but oh, her economy is just in tatters. Just in tatters. Look at this, we got what? Oh, she's got a Hydra Den too. Okay, this is getting interesting. She's got like 6, what was that, 8? 8 mining here, plus 6 and 2, so she's got like 15 drones mining. That's pretty frail economy. Corsairs out already, sees the Hydra Den. Lings can't do anything. 3 cannons are up, so pretty safe there. Meanwhile, adding gateways, not continuing to make Corsairs, just the one to scout around with Citadels finishing, adding more gateways. And Hydra speed being researched here for CadenZie. Off of her 4 hatches. Second gas. We get archives right away. No, just gonna go for gateways and speed. And the weapons on the way. A little bit of a later weapons, but that's no surprise. And Hydra is going to be streamed up here. Some Zealots moving out now. This one's being pretty dumb, but CadenZie's Lings are also being dumb, so, you know, 6 1 half dozen together. Now the Ling Hydra force being sent from CadenZie, and right now producing quite a few Hydras, so definitely going to at least try something with the Hydra. More cannons being added for Favorit, but he's got pretty good gateway production, so once leg speed kicks in, I don't think CadenZie with these cannons, that's a little unfortunate. I don't think CadenZie's really going to have the numbers. I mean, it's just too late at this point. She's already tried several all-ins. She's just trying to make something work. He can just dance with these Hydras. He doesn't have that much longer to wait for leg speed, and he's got 4-gate production. So we should see pretty soon here enough Zealot numbers to just move out against the Hydra, and then CadenZie's in this horrible spot where she just has to produce non-stop Hydra to defend, but her eco is already low enough that producing non-stop Hydra is really painful to what she wants to do. No Hydra back, there's actually no Hydra back home, so this will either kill the Corsair or get it to run away. Probably actually, I don't even know if he'll lose that gateway, to be perfectly honest. Alright, so he's going to lose the Corsair finally. Not putting enough effort into keeping it alive. Will he try to save the gateway? Maybe. Yes. Now here come a whole bunch of speed lots. Ling's running in, but this is a bad fight. This will be won pretty easily by Favorit. Even without... Wait, well, that's weird. Very odd. Now CadenZie maybe wins this fight. Still maybe not, but I don't know why Favorit turned around. A few more Hydra Rally. Now Favorit needs a turnaround. So Favorit overextends. A little bit of hesitation there allows CadenZie to take that, but it's not like Favorit's in any sort of danger. He's going to lose this gateway. Well, actually, I don't think he's going to lose the gateway. He might just have the reinforcements needed to keep it alive. CadenZie microing back, microing her heart out right now. She's adding 5th hatchery too, so maybe she won't commit to Hydra, but again, she's almost going to have to, or at least throw down some Sunkens if she wants to defend eventually from this Zealot pressure. Just the eco not strong enough to produce crazy numbers of Hydra. And she's very, very gas limited too. Alright, here comes the next wave of Zealots, and this is finally a big enough wave to push CadenZie back. But a lot of rally Hydras, so Favorit needs to see this real quick and turn around. Alright, he gets out of there pretty quickly. And actually this is more Hydras than I expected. With all the cannons, I think he's still perfectly fine in terms of not dying, but perhaps he's not going to get out of his base. CadenZie able to produce just a little more than I expected with that lower drone count. Looks like the Forge will go down. +1 has finished though, so that is good. And now we see some Templar starting to be macroed. And we're going to be adding another Forge and a bunch of pylons. And yeah, I don't think Favorit can go anywhere now until Storm is out. CadenZie adding a hatch. Well, probably misrallied, but it would be pretty spectacular if she just tried to make a hatch and do some sort of super contain. Something style. 5 gateways up and running here for Favorit, as well as a few High Templar. Now once those storms are done, that'll just blow CadenZie right back off his doorstep. But for the moment, just gotta sit back and kick it. Oh, Storm is done. Alright, so pretty much anytime Favorit wants to move out, he can. And oh, CadenZie does want to make a hatchery. I like it, I like it, I like it. If nothing else, she gets points for panache, even if it doesn't work for her. She's trying a lot of interesting things this game. Oh, that's a nice way to also force those Hydra out, and that's going to be on... Oh, actually, never mind. Do that. Close to being able to escape, but not quite. And oh, what is CadenZie doing? Why? Just... there. Oh, did he not get Storm? Oh, it's not done. I shouldn't really fight with these Zealots, in my opinion. But cannons are decently strong. Now he lost his Zealot mass. Can definitely drop Storms, though, if CadenZie runs in, and unfortunately it's a choke, so the Storms will be really dangerous. In the meantime, back at home, CadenZie is gradually adding to economy. Just trying to sneak in the occasional drone here or there. Still frail, but it's better for CadenZie. High Templars being brought to the fore. Trying to drop down a Storm or two, and gonna force those Hydras back, but nothing super terrifying. Hatchery getting close to finishing. CadenZie definitely wanting to add those Sunkens. Some nice dodging there, baiting out. And honestly, that leaves him with only like 1 Storm. And the first Sunken starts to go down. Alright, and this is going to make it do or die time here for Favorit. Trying to get out. First Storm is decent. We'll see if there are enough Hydra here to hold this off. And no, it looks like Favorit is pretty easily going to be able to move out. Just not able to get enough built at this hatchery in time. There's only 1 Hydra left. And then he's just going to have to sack this attempt. Surprisingly morphing the Sunkens, but that will not get anything done. The Hydra are going to get up here a little too late, I think. Although that's going to be really interesting if they finish and they're adding damage as this next round of Hydra come up. And actually, somehow, maybe, CadenZie holds on up here? Maybe? How many Storms are left? Okay, we're finally out of Storms, so she does hold on up here. She hasn't lost the hatchery, but... Oh, holy shit, that is a huge weird investment, though. That's going to force this Hydra right back. Is there another Storm coming anytime soon? Not really, but it's enough Zealots to definitely push the Hydra on back. Also, an Archon now added to the mix, and it looks like CadenZie is going to be sent away scurrying. And now a few Dragoons being added into the mix, and CadenZie just macroing hard off of her 6 hatcheries. Still working on adding economy. So in that sense, CadenZie's doing a pretty good job, but I have a feeling she's in danger of getting to that point where Protoss just hits a certain ball-size army and becomes very scary. Oh, good snipe on the Templar, though. And it is the one that had decent energy, so that not good for Favorit. And he has not remacroed High Templar for quite some while. Trying to get the second one. We'll get the assassination on that one as well. Does need to pull back with the Hydra, though. Cannot afford to be fighting 6 cannons at once. And down just a few Dragoons here for Favorit, and CadenZie is, like I said, slowly building up what looks like an economy. It's okay now. You know, economically, right now, CadenZie is even or possibly marginally ahead of Favorit. So she has fought her way back into this game, outfoxing Favorit. Favorit kind of misjudging how many Hydra he expected CadenZie to have, and taking a few unfavorable fights, and that's worked to CadenZie's favor. And if she can hold on here and not get run by this Protoss Stormball while she's on pure Hydra, she could be in a pretty good position. Trying to get another assassination off on that Templar. Will she split some Hydra? Oh, pretty decent storm. Oh, that's a good split. A very good split. Can she get the other one? Maybe, maybe not. Runs forward, goes for it, gets it. Good snipe. No High Templar with the army. None in macro queue either. So I think CadenZie's holding right now. And just getting stronger and stronger eco. Rallying in these Hydra to good points. Handling this pretty well. Now, here, oh, never mind. There was another stream of Templar, and they do have 3 storms. Dangerous moments for CadenZie here. She's fighting on the high ground. If she loses this fight, it's almost impossible to recover. So it's going to be a question of defending here for a little bit with pure Hydra. I want to see if she has Lurker, but we need to pay attention to the storms as well. And she's kind of rallying in here maybe a bit wildly. Needs to pull back and try to get everything coordinated, try to bait out some of those storms. Where is her Hydra? And it's in here. Okay, so there's no Lurker, and still something of a scary Protoss ball, especially because there are no creep colonies to fall back on here. And notice the supply lead for Favorit is still large, and he is taking this base, but economy-wise, it's okay for CadenZie, but pure Hydra is so hard to make work against an efficient Protoss death ball here with, you know, Storm and Dragoon and Zealot coming in here trying to get some good assassinations. That's a good start. That Storm not doing a ton of damage, trying to snipe a few more High Templars, but it's not enough. She's going to have to pull back again. She can't fight everything all together like this, especially if the Hydra start lining up for Storms. And double supply for Favorit. It's looking like the army from Favorit might just be too big for CadenZie to deal with, despite the okay economic position she's in. No other tech in here to contribute. Where is her macro? She needs more units really badly, running a little bit high on minerals. And just being forced back again and again, but she is buying time. However, she's not killing enough Protoss units, so the ball size here of Favorit is just getting bigger and bigger, and eventually Favorit's going to be down here and able to force a fight. She's trying to add a sunken, but it might be too little too late. I just don't think there's enough Hydra. Oh, getting stormed in the choke, and it looks like she's about out of units, and the death ball is too strong. GG, Favorit, 3-2. Over CadenZie, takes the win in a hard-fought series. But I have to give CadenZie credit for trying 3 all-ins and none of them taking. She made a pretty decent game out of that, all things considered. If she could have found a way to get Lurker or something in there, she probably would have been able to win, or at least go into a late-game situation in a solid spot. But it's just so hard to defend with just pure Hydra. And I think that is all we have for week 3 games from what I saw. So that one didn't happen. We watched that one. We watched Radley versus Oya. We watched Red Warrior versus Crack. Ending Life versus CadenZie was canceled and replaced with Favorit versus CadenZie. So yeah, that is it for games for now. And someone said, what are you doing in school? I'm studying electrical engineering.